This match in the 1999 AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by AAMI, Cadbury, Mitre 10, Ultra Tune and Sip and Save.
One of 4 games in the AFL around the country on this Sunday. This one comes from Football Park in Adelaide. And hasn't Adelaide turned on a picture-perfect day? Expected top temperature, 22 degrees. Absolutely perfect for a game of football. Good afternoon and welcome. Drew Morford talking to you. And we're looking forward to this game, even though I suppose there have been games that have had more importance to them, because these teams are 13th and 14th on the ladder, both with a record of 5 wins and 8 losses. Of course, Geelong have lost their last 8 in succession, and the Crows, well, premierships in the last 2 years, but a long way from it. Last week, Malcolm Blight said, well, the miracle had been averted about their chances of making the finals, and yet the Crows still find themselves just 1 game in percentage outside the 8. Here's Blighty now with Neil Curley.
Well, Malcolm, we've been saying for a few weeks this is your last chance.
Yeah,
to make the final.
Yeah, I've just sort of dismiss it now and just try and play a game of footy as much as anything.
Yeah, you had the Cats for quite a few years, so you could have a bit of inside information on some of their players.
Oh, I know the list has changed. Oh, I think there's still about half of them there, but no, they haven't been travelling all that well. Well, not winning, a bit like us, I suppose. So, someone's going to be pretty happy tonight, I can assure you.
Surprising stat, though, comes out of the AFL stats. I know you're not a real stat man, but sometimes they are important. Geelong are second in the AFL clubs in number of kicks.
Yes, they've used the ball, particularly in the first 5 weeks. Their goal-scoring ability and power looks to me as though they might have a bit of that team back again today too. They've brought the Menches and a couple of the other tallers back in. So, yes, and they have used the ball a lot, and they have won the ball a lot.
But also, by doing that, of course, they do give the opposition a chance to get the ball off them, because they do chip a bit.
Yeah, they do, probably. But then, if you don't actually put pressure on them, as some sides have found in quarters, not in full games in the last 8 weeks, they can actually be pretty dangerous.
Gary Hocking's always had a great record against the Crows, but he's not there today, so that's one obstacle out the way.
Yeah, that's true. But I think if we look at our ledger, probably they've got a few obstacles out the way too. So I just think it matches up pretty even.
Yeah, you've got eight good ones looking on, so bad luck, but all the very best.
Thanks, Neil.
Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Curls, and I think both teams looking forward to meeting the other today. In a moment, Graham Corns to look at the sides today.
The 1999 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment. And the new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5, the next generation.
Well, Cornsey, once again, the Crows even further weakened this week, and Geelong's still trying to find a winning formula.
It's a fascinating game, Drew, because both teams do not look all that balanced. They don't. Geelong with a few good players back. The Crows missing a couple of key position players. Interesting from the Crows' point of view, they've brought young Ken McGregor in. He's still only 18, just 18 this year, and probably a little bit early for him. He will play a key position, but you'd have to say if Geelong sense a chance of winning their first game at Football Park against the Crows, this might be it.
OK, let's look at Geelong, and they made 6 changes this week. Of course, Hocking is out injured, but 5 players dropped.
Yes, that's true, but there's some good players coming back in. I think noticeably mentioned and King will be good, strong players for them and probably create a bit of a mismatch for some of the Crows' defenders there. It's a fairly well-balanced contest on paper.
Well, remember a couple of weeks ago when the Crows played Collingwood, bottom of the ladder, it turned out to be a ripper game. This might be the same. Hope so. We look forward to it. It's starting soon.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly now make some of the big winners. Rachel Clark from Queensland, and the Morgan family from New South Wales, and Pat Collins from Tasmania. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is big.
Here's what Australia's leading motoring journalists had to say after testing the new Magna 3.5 V6.
Mitsubishi has a head kicker. The silky 3.5 engine matches Commodore's output and outstrips it in power to weight. Mitsubishi has built a V8 killer.
Magna 3.5 V6 feels like a V8. See it at your Mitsubishi dealer now.
It is Mitsubishi.
Mom, look at me. Mom, look at me. Mom, look at me. I'm going really fast. Mom, I'm going really, really fast. Super fast.
When you've got a job to do, the best way to get 10 out of 10 results is teamwork. That's why with help from the teams at Mitre 10 at Wattle, you'll not only be a winner, you'll also be helping to support South Australia's favourite sons, the Adelaide Crows.
We got that.
And that's gotta feel good.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Right now, your nearest mobile net dealer is holding 3 of a kind, including the Philips Savvy for just $49 on a mobile net value 10 or value 15 plan. Or how about the Panasonic G520, exclusive to mobile net at just $49. That's a $30 saving. And also at $49, you can grab the Motorola Jazz DB. At that price, you can afford to double up. Head to your nearest mobile net dealer for these great deals. They're one of a kind.
Hi. Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened. Is there anything I can do to help get your car back on the road?
Well, with Amy, they're taking care of everything.
Quotes?
Done.
Repairs?
Done.
Good quality?
Guaranteed for the life of the car, even if I sell it.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess you don't need me then. Have a nice day.
A free service that takes care of all your post-crash running around. Call Amy now.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly now make some of the big winners. Rachel Clark from Queensland, and the Morgan family from New South Wales, and Pat Collins from Tasmania. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is big.
Vietnam, 1968. And 5 gung-ho soldiers are about to face their biggest assignment.
Moving an elephant's operation is top secret.
Based on a true story.
You cannot put an elephant on an airplane.
About the Army's most secret weapon. Danny Glover, Dennis Leary, and Ray Liotta. Operation Dumbo Drop tonight.
Well, Mark Rasciuto, captain of the Crows for the first time today, has won the toss, and the Crows will go left to right in the first quarter with the breeze in the first term. Acting captain today for Geelong is Tim McGrath, in the absence of Gary Hocking, who's out injured, and Michael Mansfield, who was left out of the side. Beautiful conditions for a game of football. Umpire about to get us underway. And the opening bounce of the game, and the first ball comes down to Geelong, and Milburn making a return today, kicks to centre half forward, and the mark straight away taken by Mooney. He plays on quickly, the Cats straight into attack and across the ground to Steinfort, and Carl Steinfort will be shooting for goal, going into the breeze in the first term. after acting captain Mark Rasciuto won the toss for the Crows and elected to go with the breeze left to right in the first quarter. But a good start for the Cats. First 3 touches of the game. Good Steinford kick it into the breeze, 49 metres out. It holds up, it won't get there. Goes out towards the pocket and out of bounds. And a chance to welcome to the commentary Graham Corns and John Platten. Good afternoon, boys.
Morning, Drew. Afternoon, sorry.
Drew, it's a magnificent day and both teams desperate for a win. Good positive start for Geelong. Might just shake the Crows up a little bit, but Milburn, good out of the centre.
David Mensch, number 31 in ruck, returning after a week in the reserves last week. But Rasciuto has it. Ball jolted free of his arms. Hand pass Jamison. The whistle's gone. It's going to be a Crows free kick. And it's coming back to Rasciuto from centre half back.
He certainly does need a big game today, Graham, with first-time captaincy of the Adelaide Crows.
Well, it just adds to the pressure, but he's too good a player to be down as he has been, Johnny.
Well, that might have been a bit lucky, but the kick dropped in short and a chest mark taken by Costa. In with a hand pass to Goodwin. With the breeze, Goodwin deep to the pocket looking for Jarman. 9 last week, he's got it again.
Well, it was a positive lead. It was a good kick, and Tom Harley, playing his first game for Geelong, ex-Port Adelaide, was right with him. He was watching him. The contest is good. He just doesn't get the left-hand fist in front of Darren Jarman.
Well, we certainly got a big job, Tom Harley, if he's going to stand on Darren Jarman for the whole game.
Too big, Johnny. I think he's probably more of a key position player.
Well, Jarman absolutely superb against Melbourne at the MCG last week with 9 goals straight, 48 metres out, and he starts today hitting the post.
Well, he's going to miss
one. That's right.
He's going to miss one sooner or later.
And what a way to miss it by hitting the post.
So Ben Graham to kick in for the Cats. They've lost 8 games in a row. Do they need a win here today? Mark taken by Milburn. Hand pass into Scholl. Scholl from the defensive 50. Up to half-back flank. And the mark is taken out there by Lynch. Tristan Lynch. Getting around a few players. Then goes back outside the centre corridor. But a fine mark taken by Steinford into Ronnie Burns, who was good for the Cats last week. Is kicked towards full forward. Stoneham. Caught at the back.
Push.
Free kick to the Crows. Down on the boundary line, Neil Curley.
Yes, well, I don't know if you boys have mentioned, it'll be about a 2-goal breeze, I guess, going to right of screen. But also that sun going that way could also trouble some of these boys at the end of the right of screen in marking.
Well, Jamison marks the free kick, gets the hand pass away, and the Crows worked it well out of defence. Pittman along the broadcast wing, up short of half forward. Past McGrath goes, gets to the 50. McGregor playing in his first game. Vardy gets the hand pass back to McLeod. Beautiful smother by Clark. He did well. It spills. Comes to Connell. Centering ball. Offhand to Vardy. First goal of the game.
On Today Tonight, the South Aussie mum charged with assault for saving her son from school bullies,
All I was doing was defending my son.
while another mum paid a big boy money to protect her child.
Enough just became enough.
And the town which says the situation is intolerable.
Very dangerous.
Plus the sexist boss. He sacked this woman because she wasn't pretty enough.
It's so difficult to get a job.
And cosmetics, cheap versus expensive. Can you tell the difference?
So it's a matter of doing a little bit of homework.
That's this week on 7.
Well, Peter Vardy went for a bounce running into an open goal, and the ball never came back to him.
I don't think it was a bounce, Drew.
He finished up, you reckon that was just hand to foot going for the kick for goal? Well, a lucky goal to Peter Vardy. Well, he'd been crucified had he missed it. Absolutely nobody in front of him. Milburn tapped forward, but then went without it. Liptak bowled over. Burton does well. Around the corner up towards half forward, a juggle, not quite to McGregor. Ken McGregor making his debut, and the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
I drew on the bench for the Crows. Herbert, Allen, Orman Allen, and Tyson.
Neil Curley with us on the boundary. Ball's not Goldwood for the Crows. Throw in the back. Take a free kick, Brett James.
Well, just over excitement or extra enthusiasm from the Geelong. Their team, their intent to get at it, but you've got to be disciplined also.
Jarman leads to the pocket, but James goes into the centre corridor, and it's a pretty good effort. Downsborough couldn't take the mark, and they've lost control of it. Riccardi for the Cats. Clears up towards midfield. Connell did very well. Jamison pops it back. Knocked out of Stevens' arms. Off the ground goes Mooney, inside 50. Hall there for the Cats. After it again, Derek Hall. Went to ground, Hart. Oh, beautiful kick by Hart. Connell, having contested up near the wing just a moment ago, found himself free. Matt Connell takes it right to the man approaching him. And King is there in defence for the Cats.
Not a good kick there by Connell. Just had all the time in the world, but no forward leading for the Crows.
McGrath, acting captain for the Cats today, out towards centre wing, and a good mark taken by Simon Arnott. Switches play, this is good. Steinfort, he has David Clark running past. Here's Clark now, outside the centre square, up to the 50, into the breeze. He gives it everything he's got, but he's offline. Ronnie Burns is back there. Good mark, Goodwin. Goodwin back out to the 50, to David Pittman. Crows 7 points to 0. Stevens, former North Melbourne player, pops it over the top to Liptak. The Doc, he's gone for a bounce, it didn't come back to him. He's kicked towards centre half forward. Punch to the front. McGregor's been in the play a bit. Comes out to McLeod. His kick is beautiful, and right on the 50 is Burton. Breeze at his back. How about the distance? 53 metres. Great kick, but offline. He got the distance, no probs.
Look, it's been a good free-running game thus far. I mean, we've only been going 7 minutes. Just the use of the ball going into the forward lines. Ian Downsborough, centre-half forward for the Crows, a new role for him. And big Kenny McGregor, whilst he's a forward pocket, he's really playing out across half-forward. Just a bit more accuracy and clean hands across half-forward for both teams.
Ben Graham, a bit worried about this kick into the breeze. Riccardi about half a metre in from the line. And he goes short. Steinfort had plenty of it early. McGrath in a bit of trouble, had to kick around the corner. That wasn't good for the side. Connell's got it yet again. Into Jamison. Across the ground he goes. Poorly directed. Milburn, free kick. He plays on. Kick by Milburn. Floated to King, making a return this week. Hall back in defence to help out. Milburn had doubled up. Scholl through the logo he goes. Hand pass not great. An awkward half volley is beautifully gathered by Riley. Centering ball. Mooney can't mark. Clark cleaned up by Stevens. Oh, what a tackle. The ball spills. Connell's been excellent. And this is fantastic play by the Crows. Should be a goal to Edwards. He's got a weak down there in the pocket. Gets around, gets close to the goal and kicks it.
Well, it's a goal to Tyson Edwards, but just mark it.
Here's what Australia's leading motoring journalists had to say after testing the new Magna 3.5 V6.
It has a lovely ride, strong engine, accurate steering with crisp turn-in, and is superbly quiet. Mitsubishi has a head kicker. Mitsubishi has built a V8 killer.
Magna 3.5 V6 feels like a V8. See it at your Mitsubishi dealer now.
It is Mitsubishi.
Ball back in the centre. It's been a good start for the Crows, but they do have the breeze. 2-2 to nothing.
Matt Connell dominant on this wing, Drew, and the runner's just going out to David Clark, saying just tighten up on him.
Bit of a scrap in midfield, and eventually a hurried ball. Doesn't get much distance out of the middle.
Okay, there, Drew. Interchange for Geelong. Barnes, Bamford, Pickering, Corrigan.
Just some of the tackling by the Adelaide Crows players. Graham, in the first 10 minutes has just been so fierce.
They just have to win this game, Johnny, and you're just seeing the evidence of their intensity.
And Pittman one in the middle. Comes down to Burton, who gets a bit of distance on the turn. Oh, the bounce over Graham. McGrath under pressure. Good tackle, McLeod. Oh, Downsborough interferes. Free kick.
Well, he went at it, but it was pretty crude.
Riley takes the free and finds Graham still in the back pocket. Probably won't know until half-time really who's getting an ascendancy here, because even if the Crows lead by 5 or 6 at quarter-time, it just may be Geelong's turn in the second quarter when they get this breeze. Although Curls did say it's only a couple of goals worth, but certainly the Crows have had more of the football so far. Stephen King has it just forward of centre half-back. Across the ground he goes to McGrath. celebrating being captain today. His opposite number also celebrating, Mark Prosciutto. It comes out to Scholl. Scholl inside the 50. Mensch couldn't bring it to ground. Costa's got it for the Crows. Good play. Bassett floats it over the top. Prosciutto back to Bassett. James, awkward half volley, but he gathered well. Bassett might get it a third time. No, Liptak takes it. Edwards, quick football. McGregor, there he is. Bassett all the way from full-back. Shot for goal. And he's kicked it.
Very happy man.
Right. It's his first one for the year, only his second ever. And when you see the Crows back line running like that, streaming through the centre, providing the option, you know they're going to be in for a good day. Early days yet, but the signs are ominous. Now it's Bassett giving the ball there. He continues the run. Exchange of handball looks good, Johnny.
Looks good. I'm up to 6 handballs at 7. 8 handballs all the way right down from fullback and Nathan Bassett, who started that run, finished off with a fantastic goal.
Well, how would that rate as a goal of the year candidate? Nathan Bassett, the length of the ground.
And he's very happy there, Drew. Arms are flying everywhere.
Well, name a fullback who isn't happy when he kicks a goal.
Great start for the Crows, 3-2 to nothing. And when the fullbacks start kicking goals on you, are in a bit of bother. James back with a hand pass. Oh, a chain. Liptak to Costa. Very high towards centre wing. Connell leaves it for Burton. Burton jumped. He was almost under the ball, but a great jump. Hands to it. King's kick. Hart for the Crows. Eventually, Milburn gets it out. McGrath. His kick short of the 50. Punched away from Mooney. Goodwin cornered. He's lost it and went to ground. Mooney followed up. Ronnie Burns. Brilliant play by Burns. Kicked 5 out of their 9 goals last week. A centering ball. And at the back, a terrific mark by Arnott.
Just like to say, Drew, when you we were talking about the value of the wind, when you see running football like that, the wind doesn't come into it. And, of course, if the players can do that into the wind, they'll score just as easily.
Yeah, good point, girls.
It's a good kick by Ronnie Burns, Drew. He centred it nicely. And you see Arnott set himself, just able to drift around to the front of the pack.
38 metres out. Well, a shocking kick or a howling gale of a wind, but he has missed from right in front.
And the coach gets blamed when the team loses. You see Simon Arnott there, a tremendous mark, but from 30 metres out, there's just no excuse for missing the goal.
There's no excuses, Graham. I think that has been a thing for the whole year. You know, 30, 35 metres out from goals. A lot of guys have been missing.
Look at the difference in that kick with the breeze, but certainly the breeze didn't affect Arnott's kick. It was just a shocker off the boot. The dive, was that ball touched on the way? No, the mark paid to Arnott.
What's his chances now, Drew? He's going to kick from 48, 49.
But he's a shot bird.
I think he's just got to use the wind a bit more. I think at the last kick he had, Graham, was he kicked it more to the centre of the goals and it drifted right across. This time he's probably got to aim for a little bit more to the left side.
He is further out. He's kicked that much better. Top kick.
99 beer bottles. Southern Ale Pale.
Premium Light.
18.99.
Hanging on the wall. Southern Pale Ale Stubbies.
26.99. Can I do that again? West End Draft, 28 pack.
$26.99.
So much beer, so little time.
Oh.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local sip and save.
So the Cats finally got their first goal. It came up at the 14-minute mark. Interesting interchange with Tyson coming on the ground for Connell for the Crows, and Connell has been fantastic.
Yeah, but he got a knock, Drew. He was in the hands of the trainer there for a while, and he took a long time to get up, so he obviously hasn't recovered from that knock.
Yeah, they are working on him, Graham.
Umpire Brett Allen to ball it up. Just near the centre circle, no restriction, plenty of players around this ball up. Pittman wins it, and the free kick as well. Crows want to take advantage, but it's got to come back to Pittman. They want to put it long on the breeze. Well, he tried to kick the back of the ball. It went like a bag of wheat. And the umpire will ball this up about 40 metres from goal.
Ian Downsborough just trying the one-handed. Much maligned in Adelaide, Ian Downsborough, but if he gets the opportunity at centre-half forward, he will work really hard and allows the forward line players to work around him.
Downsborough tries to take clean possession. Ball spills out. Oh, it goes Crow's way. McGrath has been facing a torrent early in this game. Out to Graham. That's better by the Cats. Scholl, defensive 50. His kick up towards centre wing. Rashudo.
Touch, play on.
And he had to. And he's given it up. Made it very awkward for Hart. Good tackle by Steinford.
The crowd didn't realise it, but the umpire was calling play on as Mark Rashudo took the ball. You can see him in the background waving his arms.
That was Simon Goodwin in there. Ball up out near centre wing. Mooney. Not to the advantage of the side. Tyson just off the bench. In he goes to Costa. Rashudo in a bit of space. He's got plenty of time to set this up. Jarman outnumbered. What a leap by Darren Jarman. Comes to the front to Edwards. He's outnumbered as well. Scholl, a good hand pass. Oh, high tackle on the Geelong player. Play on, says the umpire. Up the ground to Tristan Lynch. He hasn't got it. Well, Stevens dispossessed him. Lip tack to the 50. Vardy takes the mark.
It was a critical turnover for Geelong. Tristan Lynch had it. He just needed quick hands to get it forward to his teammate. Held onto it, tried to break the tackle.
Just a quick report on Connell. Okay, he'll come back on the ground shortly.
That's good news because he started the game so well.
A lot of kicks to be had on that wing, Curls.
Yeah, very much.
Peter Vardy about 55 metres out. Breeze behind, right to left. It's all the way there for home.
Aye, we were off for a wee break with the wains and the collar was like a cow. And would you know about Kennett? Clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm stood there right glaikit with the wains shouting, "Oh, Farah, you ken you're nothing but a big dunderhead." So I skedaddled right into Ultratune and told the laddie about the clunk, clunk, clunk. He says, "Oh, your shock absorbers are out the windy, man," and made a rare job of them. Understood me perfectly, he did.
Ball back in the middle. And the Crows 4-2 with the breeze. Geelong 1 goal 1. Bamford on the wing on Tyson. Oh, it flips out here. Chance for lip tack. Long kick. But the ball taken on the chest by Harley.
Good strong attack on the ball too.
His kick just outside the 50, and Bamford, who's gone onto the wing, who was a late replacement for Clint Bizzle, didn't take his place in the side. Ball back to Riccardi. His kick to Tristan Lynch, former Brisbane Lion. Lynch's kick to the 50. Mooney. Oh, great spoil. He had no right to get to that, Stevens.
It was a beautiful kick. It was a good lead, and the work of Mark Stevens to get to it. Look, he's still 2 metres behind. Oh, that just took the arm. Well, he played the free kick.
Gee, well, Mooney takes it quickly. Bamford, who had it in the back pocket a minute ago, now kicks for goal and gets it.
Oh, good goal.
Well, the crowd not too happy. It looked like a perfect spoil by Stevens, but the free kick was given to Mooney.
Well, he took the arm, Drew, but I couldn't see there was anything wrong with that. It was a tremendous effort. Well, we don't see it there. We just see the free kick, and Scotty Bamford's dash down forward. He's had a habit of coming onto the ground this year and kicking goals. Snuck that one in, and Geelong, they are running. They're just not quite clean enough with their use of the ball, but they're not out of this game at all. They're certainly showing some confidence in their run.
Crows lead is cut to 13 points after the goal by Scott Bamford. Not sure when he knew he was playing, but we didn't find out until about 5 minutes before the bounce. Comes to Steinford. His kick up towards the 50. Mensch is there. Buster pack wide open. Well done, David Mensch. His kick wide to the pocket. Stoneham. Wasn't a terrific kick by Mensch. Not good for the side.
Drew, just a little one there. Geelong are second highest in all AFL clubs in kicks this year, and they're the highest in marks. So they have been having a lot of the footy.
And they're the second highest scoring team as well, behind North Melbourne, but they've also conceded the most. Mooney gets it going towards goal. Might come back to him yet. Tackle by Lynch. Play on, says the umpire. The crowd wanted in the back. Lynch did well at ground level again. Rashudo getting plenty of it. Might hit a return to form here today. That was a great pass to Vardy.
So they're going to move down quickly, Drew, because they're setting up their ruckman down at centre-half back.
Jarman. Harley. Oh, he actually back-heeled the ball to his opponent, Jarman. It spills out to Burton. He breaks the tackle. He's 30 metres out. Oh, what a goal by Burton.
Stepping down both ends.
Grab the rod, head for the jetty, relax, and catch some fish. That's fine. But first, you must pay.
Puts the accountability back into fishing.
Is this the future for SA's 400,000 recreational fishermen? A special report Monday on 7 Nightly News.
chance discovery.
Vines were scattered in all directions.
Human bones found in a remote corner of the wilderness.
We have approximately 5%.
But whose remains are they?
Haven't got anyone that fits the criteria.
Australia's Most Wanted, Monday.
From Geelong, just kicked exactly the same sort of goal down the other end. So it's certainly happening from both ends.
Well, a great start for the Crows. Just ticked past the 20-minute mark. Milburn's hand pass is blocked. And the work in there by McGregor was very good. Downsborough puts it wide to James. James near the 50. Jarman, Harley with him. Vardy, a good pickup. Ridden into the ground. Ball thumped back towards the 50. James. Oh, well done. Costa sees the gap between the goalposts, but doesn't go for them. Well, Jarman slipped to the floor. Probably cost him a mark and a goal there. Riley, a clever kick out of there, and he gets it. Oh, I was going to say to the line, but he didn't get it to the line.
Good work. It bounced on the line, but it has to be out completely. And Matt Connell made a tremendous effort to get there. Have a look at it again. It just bounces on the line.
Shane would have loved that bowl.
It's dead set going to the safety of out of bounds, isn't it?
Fortune is with Adelaide today.
Barnes on the ground and gives away he takes a free kick, Johnny Barnes. Crowd not happy with that. Barnes into Graham. Puts it out in front of Riley. He's got Lynch running for him. Oh, well done, Costa. That was Riley's ball, and Kim Costa took it away from him. And now he's lost it, Riley. Peter Vardy.
Oh, good tackle.
Tackle from behind.
Yeah, good umpiring too, because a lot of umpires would have called that holding the ball. Good footy from both teams. Kim Costa just gets his hand to it, but they go at it again. You don't see the pick up there from James Rowley. He actually picked it up between his legs. Steinford off and Pickering on.
Liam Pickering, desperate to find some form. He's had 3 weeks in the reserves. Knocked forward by McGrath. Arnott's hand pass. Past Steinford it goes. Hart. Steinford tackles when he didn't have the ball. And it'll come back to Ben Hart for the kick out near centre wing.
Yeah, you say that, Drew, but it's the type of game that Pickering could find a bit of footy. It's very open and fast moving.
I think the last time that Pickering played here, I think he had over 30 possessions.
They're obviously concerned about Brett James because Steinford's been playing on Brett James and Pickering's gone straight across to pick him up now. If it's a defensive role they're looking for, it might restrict his ball getting.
McGregor up inside the 50. That was Herbert, and the ball's knocked over the boundary line and we'll have a throw in.
Both coaches opted for their ruckman to stand a kick beyond the play, so both got the same ideas.
Well, they're both trying to run from defence. It's just working a bit better for the Crows at the moment.
Barnes against Downsborough. Downsborough did all right. Oh, the ball spills for Jarman. His hand pass, a little bit high, tapped back by Edwards. And Liptak kicks the great goal.
When Georgia finds out about Ali and Billy's affair, words just won't be enough.
Kiss it, kiss it, kiss it. Ooh, baby. Now, honey, do you think you should? I guess you thought that nobody knew.
You kissed Allie? I think maybe we should split for a while.
Shake it, shake it, shake it up, baby.
I don't want that.
I do.
Will Ali lose it all?
I'll walk away from this table and you right now.
Monday on 7's Ali McBeal.
Well, Matthew Liptak snapping a terrific goal. We've seen some wonderful goals kicked in the first quarter here at Football Park today. Herbert wins in the middle. Burton has it. Somehow gets rid of the hand pass. And Liptak, did he throw it? Free kick.
But Drew, Darren Jarman's off the ground. Shane Allen's gone to full forward. Looking at him there, he doesn't seem to be restricted in any way.
No one working on him, fellas. No doctor or trainer, so perhaps just a little rest.
Man who kicked 9 straight last week and started today by a poster.
Did the coach speak to him, Coles?
I haven't seen him go to the phone, no.
James back to Rasciuto. He's getting a lot of leather today, Mark Rasciuto. Back to James. Well, eventually they've worked it out of defence. Stevens. High ball to centre half forward. Burton with the climb from behind. McGregor caught by Riley. A couple of youngsters in the game. The umpire will ball it up.
Like a sardine tin down there.
Riley playing his 24th game and McGregor playing his first. Right on the 50. Umpire Richard Williams, South Australian umpire, who's done 2 SANFL Grand Finals over here. Jamison enjoying his rebirth with the Crows.
The opportunity for him, Drew, is just come up very sweet for him.
A couple of key matchups too. Pickering now on James. Riccardi's on McLeod, which is interesting, and Burton is being matched by Milburn.
Clean possession, Barnes, but not a great hand pass. Riccardi good enough. Off the left boot, which is the way he likes it, up towards the 50. Punch from behind by Herbert. Oh, it goes to James. Rasciuto, he's back in town. He is back in town, Mark Rasciuto. Makes no mistakes.
When he plays his best footy, Drew, is when he goes through the packs like that.
And the kick forward by Bassett. Magnificent delivery. The mark to McGregor.
And very good chalking by Matthew Liptak too. He could have caught him out, but he caught him in.
Young Ken McGregor, an 18-year-old, making his debut. Drops about 10 metres short in the goal square. Burton had a chance. Liptak got a little touch, but the ball rushed through for a behind.
Graham, just like your thoughts on this one. One thing I've noticed with Rasciuto, though, he is looking to handball off too much instead of kicking long and direct.
Well, his first instinct, even then on the replay, was to give the hand. Then he saw the players. He thought, I can burst this pack. Just unfortunately slipped over.
Scholl. Straight up the ground to Steinfurt. Just over a minute remaining in the first quarter. A 26-point lead to the Crows, but it'll be interesting to see what the Cats can do with this breeze in the second term. There's been some freak goals kicked here in the first quarter. Riley's kick to Scholl, who gave it to him. Scholl to half forward. Arnott. Oh, the man over the top, Connell.
This young man is a ball magnet, Drew. There's a criticism of him by the Crows coaching staff because of his disposal and choice of options.
And there was some talk about him being his last chance too, Graham, this year. So hopefully he takes hold of it today and plays a beauty.
McLeod, centering kick is very poor from McLeod, and Pickering takes the mark. Back to Milburn. Geelong never too sure which way to run. They're always looking to go sideways rather than up the ground, and it has come unstuck here. The punch comes to Connell, off to Jamieson, who could kick this. He could kick this!
That's right.
Rob Jamieson.
Magnificent kick. He can kick it, as you called it, Drew. Good exchange of handball from the Crows. Geelong just a bit indecisive coming through half-back, and the Crows able to steal the ball back. And Rod Jamieson on his right boot, the breeze behind him. He's not going to pass off, neither he should. The Crows 7, Geelong 2.
7 goals to the Crows and 6 different goal kickers, including the likes of Jamieson and Bassett, who've come up from the back line. Back in the middle, Barnes lost sight of it. Comes down to Hall, hand pass to Pickering. Siren sounds. Top first quarter by the Crows. Well, they've struggled of late, there's no doubt about that. But against Geelong, who've struggled even worse, the Crows have opened up in fine style in that first term and kicked 7 goals to 2. What a display, John Platt.
Well, it is. It's just great to see that some of the Crows players are running. You can tell by Bassett and blokes like Jamieson, who are all backmen, running right down the ground, gives an opportunity.
Crows leading by 32 points at the first break.
Good afternoon, and the news coming up in about half an hour during the half-time break in the Crows game. The first victims of the massive oil spill wash ashore on our southern beaches, this gull soaked in crude oil. Also tonight, the tragedy across the border where a mother killed herself and 5 children. Floods ravaged towns south of Perth, and a Formula 1 driver in a real spin, but not in his car. And cricket hero Buff Lehman shows the Crows crowd another cup.
Honey, sure you know where you're going?
Sweetheart, it's me driving.
You're on the wrong side of the road.
Must be his first time on a bike.
Dad!
Who's up for a sandwich?
At Amy, we know there's a lot of bad luck going around. So when you've held a rating 1 for the last 3 years without making a claim, we believe it should be yours for life. So don't be penalised for a bit of bad luck. Switch to Amy now.
Don't you just love this country?
Lucky you're with Amy.
McDonald's McMatching with Monopoly now make some of the big winners. Rachel Clark from Queensland, and the Morgan family from New South Wales, and Pat Collins from Tasmania. McMatch and win Monopoly. Stick around. This is big.
Which one's yours?
That one.
Oh, beautiful. And so are you. Yes, you are. Good.
Proudly, your Mitsubishi sales team offer 3 years of free service on new V6 Magna and Verada.
We love these cars.
July is just too cold. Time to warm things up at Truscott Hi-Fi with some sizzling hot prices. Warning, do not stand too close to the screen. These prices are hot. Like this Sony 180x digital zoom camcorder, and this Sharp 3-disc mini system, and this NEC 68cm AV stereo TV, and this Sharp 6-head stereo G-code VCR. Sizzling hot prices during a very cold July at Truscott. Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
Is your old roof leaking, creaking, or collapsing? Replace it now before expensive structural damage is done. Use Stratco Renovation Roofing in Colorbond. Stratco Roofing. Phone for an authorised dealer to call.
Take a look at Rowan Jarman these school holidays. Well, they take 10 to 40% off all Adidas. All Adidas clothing, 10 to 40% off. All Adidas footwear, 10 to 40% off. Take yourself to Rowan Jarman today and save on all Adidas.
When pay TV took off in New Zealand, thanks to the launch of a communication satellite, MLC was there. With the performance of 15 independent investment managers, specially selected from Australia and around the world, MLC can open the door to investment opportunities you've never dreamed of. Isn't that the sort of partnership you're looking for? MLC, working towards your wealth.
Thank you, Drew. Well, on the handball and their run hurt to them.
Yes, Curls, look, I felt we carried the ball reasonably well up inside 50 and then either poor disposal or a poor choice, and then they were able to carry the ball very well out of their back end, which certainly resulted in a number of goals against us.
Anything different with the Breeze this quarter?
Look, we're looking to be a bit harder around the ball, control the ball a bit more, and hopefully be a bit more direct.
All the best.
Thanks.
Well, hopefully a bit more direct. I think maybe Gary Ayres has wanted that from his side. For this losing streak of 8 games, but they've turned it over near half-forward, and Rashudo gets another kick out of defence for the Crows. Up towards half-forward. Scholl can't take the ball. McGregor's done all right in his first game. Out to Downsborough. On to Barty. He beats Stephen King on the turn with his kick, but it's a poor old kick. Riccardi's back there. Pulled off his hand pass by McLeod. Great play by Andy McLeod. Darren Jarman back in the thick of things after a couple of minutes on the bench, and Edwards gets a goal.
That's magnificent.
Right now, your nearest mobile net dealer is holding 3 of a kind, including the Philips Savvy for just $49 on a mobile net value 10 or value 15 plan. Or how about the Panasonic G520, exclusive to mobile net at just $49. That's a $30 saving. And also at $49, you can grab the Motorola Jazz DB. At that price, you can afford to double up. Head to your nearest mobile net dealer for these great deals. They're one of a kind.
Real well, and just as you gave that handball, Graham, he gave the handball and did a shepherd straight away. And it's great to see a young kid learning that as soon as they can.
2 number 1s in ruck. King might have slightly beaten Herbert. And they come out with the ball eventually through Lowther. Real hospital ball for Bamford. Oh, and it's not as though he's got plenty of muscles behind him. Roddy Burns touches down once, centres the ball. Pinpoint accuracy. Milburn takes the mark. Back he goes. Clark, a high ball. Punched out by Hart. Bassett, who kicked a wonderful goal in the first term. Jamison kicked one as well. Here they are on the last line of defence. Connell. Connell's kick to Liptak. How about that? They are 4 players. They're carving Geelong. McLeod. Jarman leads from full forward, and a beautiful kick in his direction. Well, he's bumped off the ball. It comes behind to Graham. Graham clears for the Cats. Not looking for a teammate, just getting it out of the zone. Burns taken without the ball. The ball's out of play. It'll be a throw-in. Ronnie wants a free.
Tom Harley's done well on Darren Jarman, but Matthew Connell has brought his own football today. He's working both ends of the ground. The runner's speaking to him now. I'm not quite sure what about.
Herbert and King. Oh, Herbert wins and gets it going the Crows' way. Here's Connell once again, the old ball magnet, and a beautiful kick.
I'm not sure it's supposed to go to him, Drew, but it certainly found Tyson Edwards.
Well, Matty Connolly's running so strongly. There's obviously just a bit of a lack of power in his kick, but it's an effective kick.
Well, Tyson Edwards has kicked 11 goals in 13 games this year, but he's lining up for his third today. So what a day he's having.
He has great accuracy too, Drew. He very rarely kicks it behind.
He's kicked 13 goals, 3 for the season. That holds up. So there's a bit of a breeze there, off the hands and through for a minor score.
Might make the distance, but doesn't kick it behind.
Drew, interchange for Geelong at this stage. Barnes, Steinford, Pickering, Clark.
Ronnie Burns just limping off too, girls.
Yeah, Clark's just come on for Ronnie Burns, and that doesn't look good because he was their whole forward line last week. He kicked 5 out of their 9 goals.
It's a right leg injury, so we'll check on that.
Looks like a driver.
McGrath marks the kick in. Back to Riccardi, who's playing back deep in defence. King balks the hand pass, then gives the kick. Just kick and hope, really. Stoneham hasn't been in the contest so far.
Hey, good play, both players. Kenny McGregor went after, but Tristan Lynch tied him up. And young Ken's getting some confidence. He's just 18.
Yeah, looks like top of the 5 for Ronnie Burns here. He has pulled a driver muscle. That's a bad muscle to pull. That's at least 3 to 4 weeks.
Bassett, I hope he didn't pull it while he was feeling for that free kick over on the wing on the other side a couple of minutes ago. Lynch centres the ball. Oh, well done. Milburn, who was a star for them early in the season when they were winning games. Lowther on the turn. That's pretty close. A goal.
Honey, sure you know where you're going?
Sweetheart, it's me driving.
You're on the wrong side of the road.
Must be his first time on a bike.
Dad!
Who's up for a sandwich?
At Amy, we know there's a lot of bad luck going around. So when you've held a rating 1 for the last 3 years without making a claim, we believe it should be yours for life. So don't be penalised for a bit of bad luck. Switch to Amy now.
Don't you just love this country?
Lucky you're with Amy.
Burns and Barnes. Burns ruining his injury and Barnes ruining the fact that he's off the ground, not in the action. Wonderful goal kick by Daniel Lowther. Ball back in the middle. Umpire Richard Williams. Herbert. But it comes back to Lowther, the goal kicker. Back he goes to McGrath. Very high, but with the breeze it wobbles to half forward. Prosciutto. Boy.
Playing well, Drew.
He hit back with a vengeance. And perfect disposal. Liptak. Long time out of the game, Matthew Liptak. Playing just his 3rd game for the season. Stevens just forward of the wing.
Well, he's the centre-half back, Drew. That's how well they're running.
Kick by Mark Stevens, deep inside 50. Kenny lifts. He nearly won the high jump and the long jump in one there. Stoneham, get hold of the footy, big bass.
Good hands, Goodwin.
Yeah, great hand pass by Goodwin. Again, Prosciutto. Oh, good mark, Vardy.
He just gives you so much, Vardy, doesn't he? He's just an opportunist. He loves going around the half-forward flank, and I would say kicking from 50, from his last kick in the first quarter, he's got a big chance of making this one too.
He's played so little football. It's just his 4th game, but he seems to come back into the side as though he's never missed a beat.
It's a bit of coaching there from Rod Jamieson, who used to know how to kick a goal and kick one today. Vardy's kick just gets away on the breeze in the field of play. Look out, McLeod's got it. Had to give the hand pass. Awkward. Liptak runs out of room.
Yeah, Matty Liptak knew what he wanted to do. The feet weren't just quick enough, were they? He knew he had to stop, come back inside, but it just didn't compute.
33-point margin here to the Crows. McLeod goes defensively, loses the ball in the tackle, regains it. Back further afield he goes. Connell on the chest of Costa.
Well, I think there's another missed kick from the Crows, so fortunate enough it's found Costa just dropping into the gap there.
Just a quick report on Ronnie Burns. The doctors worked on it. They don't think it's too bad. It is in the driver area, but they think he may be okay.
The way he limped off, I don't think that he's back. He can make it worse.
I think his name's Super Optimist.
Kim Costa for goal. He's inclined to get away on the breeze as well, and is pumped through for a rush behind.
Kim Costa's one of those irrepressible characters around the club. He loves to tell his teammates what's happening, and he would have been so much wanting to kick that goal. It didn't even make the distance, Kimmy. They'll have a shot at you on Monday. There's no doubt about that.
But Graham, there again, he was only like 35 metres out from goal. We just talked about that, haven't we?
It's not a great kick, though, Johnny.
A bit of a risk taken there by Graham. He kicked right towards the boundary line, and it's going to be a free kick to McGrath, who was taken front on by Costa.
Yeah, it's a bit soft, that one, Drew. Certainly Costa's not torn up, but certainly went across the arms.
Lynch. Oh, is that out on the full? Yes.
Too high.
A free kick.
So a field free kick overrules a boundary line free, does it?
I think it does.
Just here, it's come through and across the head.
And Burns looks okay warming up.
Well, that'll be good news for Gary Ayres, who must be wanting to slash his wrists at the moment. Barry Stoneham getting his first touch. A high ball towards centre-half forward. Punch from behind by Hart. Nest of Cats players there. But somehow Adelaide come out with it. Connell, what a game he is playing. Back to Bassett. Kick wide to Hart. Oh, Burton running on. Forward of the wing. Gets around a man easily. Brett Burton just cruised into AFL football like he belonged here all his life, and this is his first season. Comes to Downsborough. Centering ball, not bad. Edwards, gee, that was a good leap. Lip tap, good tackle, and he's holding it.
Yes, well, the crowd are wanting a trip, but I think the umpire's made the correct decision. Just watch Matty Litak here. Good tackle. No attempt to get rid of it.
The ball over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
I'll tell you what, the Crows are intense. They're getting a lot more numbers around the ball. They're running a lot more strongly and supporting. It does look ominous for Geelong at the moment.
King takes clean possession. Lynch gives chase. He's going to run out of room. The line was his best friend there. Well, was Blighty kidding us last week when he said the miracle had been averted? A game and percentage outside the 8. There's enough games left.
But realistically, after last week, Drew, I think he...
Burns coming back on, boys.
Whoa. Good call, Curls. Here's Jamison. And that's good delivery. Jarman in the middle of the pack, not quite. And the mark to Harley.
Ronnie Burns must only have got a knock on it, surely.
Well,
he couldn't have torn it.
Man, yeah,
could not have torn it.
Yeah. He's very close, I'll ask him.
Clean bowl was Benny Graham, who's come well up the ground. You couldn't believe that. He wants to be a kicker with the New York Jets. Well, you mightn't have to worry about balls being delivered to you like that. You just kick the ball. Here's Downsborough putting it at the goal square. All Adelaide. Burton drops the mark. Oh, don't tell me they won't get a goal out of this.
He's holding the ball.
Well, he should have taken the mark threat.
Well, he had the Geelong player coming back at him, but just watch here. Riccardi did enough to upset him just without making contact.
And then even when he didn't get it, you'd have thought McLeod was a certainty. So Geelong have worked it from full-back towards half-forward. Mench is up there. It comes down. The hand pass by Milburn. Sits up all right for Mooney. A hurried kick. Gee whiz. Dropped there by Herbert, and he had time to recover. Back to the centre square. Mench putting on the pressure. And he hurt himself, David Mench. Jamison mark, and it's Mench who's down. Edwards playing his lights out. Kick by Edwards. Jarman caught behind. Mark to Riccardi.
Peter Riccardi playing across half-back on Andrew McLeod. Maybe his running creativity could be used down the ground. He's playing pretty well in this game.
David Clark.
He's gone back onto Matt Connell, Drew.
Well, somebody had to get with Matt Connell and just reduce his effectiveness. James, he was tackled high and will take a free kick.
Actually, Graham, there's a lot of fumbling today. In perfect conditions, the players are second grabbing a lot.
It's a strange mixture, Curls, because a lot of fumbling, but some magnificent goals.
very true.
Oh, good ball.
I just had it confirmed by Ronnie Burns. Yes, it was only a knock.
Good interview, Curls.
It was a great mark here by Kenny McGregor. Young fella and impressed Brewery so much.
Doing really well in his first game. McLeod hasn't been a factor early. Hand pass back to Edwards. He's had a lot of it. Kick by Edwards straight to full forward. Jarman caught behind again. Not quite the same player he was last week. Steinford caught in a good tackle. Now, the umpire this time will ball it up.
What they're doing with Jarman, Drew, is Stephen King, the big fella, big ruckman for Geelong, is standing right in the gap there and seems to be running and jumping and trying to mark with two Geelong players.
Well, they might keep Jarman to nothing, but so far 6 others have scored goals, so might be winning football. Costa comes back to James. James across the 50-metre line. And here's this young kid, Ken McGregor.
Well, his teammates are actually bringing him into the game quite nicely, and he's had a bit of the ball. He's attacked the ball strongly. He's done the team things. The kick is going to test him, but like all young fellas, he would have been practicing kicking from 50 into the breeze, and Matt Connell saying, have a go for it, son.
Drafted last year, taken number 75 in the national draft from Woodville, West Torrens. His AFL debut, could he get a goal? Nobody else has, kicking from that far out that end, and it does drop short, and the mark's taken by Graham. 34-point lead to the Crows.
That last line defence for Geelong is holding up very well.
And I think they've had plenty of practice in the last few weeks with the ball in their back line.
It's a good point, though, Kills, because Geelong have actually settled a little bit, and they just can't find any winning players up forward.
That's correct.
And the Cats, in 6 attempts at Football Park, have never beaten the Adelaide Crows. They did win here earlier this season against Port Adelaide.
A bit like a flood coming at you, Graham. You'll stop some of it, but you won't stop it all.
Hayden Kennedy, Brett Allen and Richard Williams.
Geelong beat the Crows in an Ansett Cup fixture, I think, Drew.
That's correct.
Yes, but I don't think that Blighty tries to.
He doesn't know. They don't count. If you win, they count. If they don't, well, you just practice.
In between wing and half forward. Barry Stoneham needs to get into the game for the Cats. Edwards has been fantastic. Downsborough tried to knock the ball onto McLeod. Very well done, Riccardi. Kick by Riccardi back to midfield. Bassett well up the ground, playing with confidence after kicking a goal in the first quarter. Clark taken out of it. Bassett gets it going forward. They are desperate for the football, the Crows. And maybe even if the coach doesn't think they can make the finals, it looks like the players do.
Yes, but I think it's also significant, Drew, in the last 10 minutes that Geelong have been really desperate, and that's what's making the spectacle a little bit less attractive at the moment. There's a bit of pressure on every player when he gets the ball.
Just need to score some goals, Geelong, though. They, 5 goals down, Graham. They just need something up forward.
Try to work it on as quickly as they can. James slings a man to the ground. It's taken by Milburn. He goes sideways to Scholl. He's got a man out here, Lynch.
So they're going to set it up now.
Scholl's run beautifully for him.
Just over the umpire's head. And the mark taken by Arnott. Mooney needs to take a mark on the forward line. Can't get to this one. Down goes Ronnie. That won't be too good for his leg. Connell again, another kick. Gave it too much out on the foot.
They do want to go sideways, though, when they go forward. It must be frustrating. They surely can't be coached to do that.
Strange quarter. Just 1 goal each in the second quarter after there had been 7 goals to 2 in the opening term. And we've been playing 16 and a half minutes in this second quarter.
Well, look out.
Mooney, well, they're marking against each other. And eventually Graham, who's come from full back and has been used on the forward line a few times this season, has taken the mark.
Maybe Gary Ayres has thought of someone to kick some goals and brought Graham back from the back lines up to the forward lines now.
Well, he's been standing Ken McGregor. The young fella's had a little bit of the ball.
Kicked 8 goals this season, right in front, 35 metres out, has kicked his 9th for the year.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they made,
Put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard.
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with accent. It's good value. It's our own brand. great range of colours.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
You can see it, can't you, darling?
Yeah, it'll come.
Actually, we saw that situation in Sydney today at the quarter time, 8-1, and they lost the match.
Yes. And these days of pretty open football, you can hardly write anybody off. Here goes McLeod out of the middle. He goes wide to Liptak. Liptak 70 metres out. Well, half-distance pass. Need to give it more.
Yeah, better kick through.
And the mark taken by Harley. Harley, who played one game for Port Adelaide last year. Arnott flew and couldn't take the mark. Recovers. Kicks it very high. Stoneham tried to punch the ball on. It got behind him. It might be to the advantage of the side. Lowther to Lynch. Tackle low. Back to Lowther. Oh, King, the ruckman, needing to play the role of rover.
Well,
Ball back to Lowther. And back again. Milburn.
tackle.
Good tackle by Edwards. Holding the ball.
Just the pressure from the Crows is just winning the game for him at the moment.
Tyson Edwards playing the game of his life. The kick by Burton is pinpoint. And here's that young kid, Ken McGregor, for a goal in his first game.
Turnovers, Drew, there's just unbelievable. The pressure which the Adelaide Crows players are putting on the Geelong forward line.
Tyson Edwards here, he just gets one hand to Darren Milburn, and that's what causes the turnover.
That's what we need.
Brett Burton looking for big Kenny McGregor.
Yeah, a great opportunity for him.
Into the breeze, 35 metres out. He gets a goal in his first game.
On a sound stage far, far away, a great movie was created. Then a sequel. Then a third. Then nothing. The Cold War ended. No movie. The Berlin Wall fell. Zilch. Then, like 20 years later, they decided to throw us another movie.
Well, big deal. The aliens on Third Rock are here every Sunday night. Not one Sunday here and another Sunday 2 decades later.
Third Rock. They've got the Force. We've got Dick. Tonight on 7.
Back to a 34-point lead in favour of the Crows after McGregor kicks a goal in his first game. Clark, ball jolted out of his arms. Lowther. Well, eventually they come away with it. And they kick up the ground by Corrigan, who's just on. It comes to Riccardi, who's been a defender so far, on the forward line, offline for a minor score.
Drew, I've got to say that I've been watching the Crows, I watched them every game this year. I haven't seen this type of commitment and passion and desperation for quite some time.
Well, there's no second chance now, though, because that generally brings the best out of most teams.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing about the Crows. Here they are, 14th on the ladder, and they've won the premiership in the last 2 years from as low as 12th and 13th. So actually it would appear that they might need to have the needle and a bit of a challenge in front of them before they recover and go well.
Well, I've always felt, though, Johnny, they played their very best football when their backs after the wall.
Well, they certainly have got the backs against the wall now, and a win today will give them a great opportunity to go on and play some good footy.
Well done, Stevens, then.
Downsbury's kick towards 50, punch away by Steinfort, and the ball out of play. So Gary Ayres has certainly turned his team upside down. Malcolm Blight having a bit of a smile. Gee, he's celebrating with a gasper soon. Two number 17s, McGrath and Downsborough. Oh, Jamison keeps it low into the breeze. That's a free kick. McGregor again. Actually advantage. And it's a goal. Kick by Hart.
Concerned about who's accessing your personal details? Find out how to protect your privacy.
How your personal details get distributed and what you can do about it.
And a pudding to beat the winter chills. Tuesday on Better Homes and Gardens. Then they've traded in their home for a bus and become wandering minstrels.
This is the bottom of Australia, next will be the top.
But they're finding it's not all smooth sailing. Plus, building your home from a kit should be pretty easy, right?
Plans are double Dutch.
Hot Property, Tuesday.
Well, Darren Jarman's having a spell on the bench for the second time today. Well, he hasn't had much of the leather today, but just a week after he kicked 9 straight and nearly won a game single-handed.
They're obviously trying to make a point to him. I can't quite work out what it would be, but...
It hasn't been that bad, is it? Just hasn't had a lot of the ball.
He hasn't had a lot of the ball, but...
If your backmen are kicking all the goals, you don't need to get it.
And plus, remember, boys, that with Stephen King back there, it makes it pretty hard for any forward to take a mark.
I think he'll find a spot for him on the forward pocket.
Kicked by Mooney. Oh, that's a wonderful mark by Bassett. And accidentally, Mensch got him in the chops with his knee.
Accidentally?
Well, I think it is. Watch this.
No, not me.
That's an accident. Mark Stevens has started very well. He's playing at centre-half back on Barry Stoneham.
He's been good on the forward line lately without actually kicking goals, but he's been getting a lot of the ball, and he's been very good at half-back today.
That's where Geelong are falling down a bit with Mooney, Stone and Mensch and Arnott and Hall aren't doing too much across the half-forward line for Geelong.
Jamison definitely holding up into the breeze. Pittman couldn't quite take the mark. It flips off the hands. The hand pass back to Scholl. Kick to half-forward. Well, Mensch lost sight of it. It comes to James. That's confidence by the Crows. And this man has been confident today, Bassett. But he was under the pump there. Well done by Mooney. Lynch, 55 metres out. Oh, you're gone. Lucky not to be penalised. Ball stays in. Costa. Rasciuto. Back to Costa.
Threw it out.
Handed it to him. To Jamison now.
Ooh.
And that's holding the ball.
I think I'd use another word than confidence there, Drew.
What word, Curls?
Did you have your heart in your mouth, Curls?
You watch this great throw. Watch this. Oh, thanks very much. Now, that is the Crow throw, Graham.
No argument.
Oh, well done by Milburn. Sees the goals, and the kick wobbles a bit just to the right.
Well, it's frustrating for Gary Ayres because there's strong commitment out there. They're not clean enough and accurate enough going for goals and trying to find players across half forward.
Yeah, that's correct, Graham. They're just struggling up forward to get a clear winner.
We've got Big King at full forward now, and Mensch has come from full back into the forward lines.
Well, Jason Mooney, who's their leading goal kicker this year with 30, he was goalless last week and hasn't had a score today. So all of a sudden it's right up there. Connell, and he has just played a wonderful game, Matt Connell. Bounces almost a half forward. McGregor!
Good boy.
Full of confidence today, and it's just great to see that the Crows players have really bring into the game, Graham, and something like that from a guy like that, and also probably from Malcolm Blight as well, coming up, maybe have an opportunity of playing finals footy. This is just great for him.
Well, intriguing too, because his form for Woodville West Torrens hasn't been fantastic, but he's looked every bit an AFL footballer in this first two quarters.
Blood rule there with Stevens coming off, a little cut on the eye.
McGregor for his second goal. This is tough, though. 45 metres out into the breeze. Punch to the front of the pack. McLeod, bit of magic from him this time. To ground, back up, caught by Riccardi. Got rid of it. McGregor a hand pass, centering ball, lip tack to the top of the square. A fumble, costly by Steinfort. Vardy. Little hand pass. Costa. Play on, says the umpire. It is desperate in there. Stoneham. A rare touch for him. Through Steinfort to Scholl. Brad Scholl. You see, very keen to run sideways. And kick wide out to the wing. A fumble by Bamford. It's nearly out. And now he's lost it. James is there. The umpire will ball it up. Well, Geelong are 100 metres short of where they should be.
Just then, Drew, as Scholl was coming through, there was only Hart and Elland here on the Geelong's half-forward flank, and he had no one to kick to.
Confidence.
Stevens being patched up. Arnott on the turn. There's a siren for half-time. Well, Crows led by 32 at quarter-time, but they then had the breeze. They lead now by 38 points, and they went into the breeze in that turn.
And probably very dominant, a lot more dominant in that quarter than the scoreboard suggests. It's not all doom and gloom for Geelong. Yes, they're making errors and their confidence seems to be at an all-time low, but there is desperation and endeavour around the football. Now, you can work on that, but the way the Crows are playing today, it's going to be very, very difficult for Geelong to get back into this particular game. Even the younger players for the Crows are really dominating and asserting themselves.
Yes, well, the Cats, unless they can turn this around at half-time, are heading for their 9th straight loss and will officially put their finals campaign on hold. They trail by 38 points.
Leave me alone. We're just trying to help you, all right? Get off. Where did you get all those bruises from? Don't tell anyone, all right? I don't want anyone to know. Sorry, mate. I have to.
All Saints, Tuesday.
Telstra announces massive international price cuts. For the first time, new Telstra Easy rates give you 2 ways to get low flat rates to every country in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For a quick chat, dial 0011 and save with Easy Minutes. For a good long chat, dial 0018 and save even more with Easy Half Hours. It's never been cheaper to call overseas with Telstra.
Here's what Australia's leading motoring journalists had to say after testing the new Magna 3.5 V6.
Magna Sports is now quick enough to make plenty of hot Holdens and fast Fords look at best pedestrian. Mitsubishi has a head kicker. Mitsubishi has built a V8 killer.
Magna 3.5 V6 feels like a V8. See it at your Mitsubishi dealer now.
Footy Wars. What the 12th man did to cricket, the half-back flankers are doing to footy.
These crittens are taking the mickey out of everything and everyone.
This is Biles 14.
Oh, no. Me, Rixie. We've got a lot of boring about Collingwood.
Tenacity, perspicacity, and synchronicity.
Centimetre perfect. What do you think? What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
Just another day in the commentary box, really? You'd be an idiot not to get a copy. There, can I go now?
Channel 7 and Yamaha Pitman Marine are giving you the chance to win this fantastic Quintrex Escape, Mackay trailer and 40 horsepower Yamaha outboard valued at over $22,000. Just tell us the name of this new Adelaide boat ramp.
Entry forms are available in the advertiser and at the New Look Boat Show starting on Friday, the 9th of July.
It's so easy to win.
And remember, if it's on the water, it's at the boat show.
See you at the 1999 Adelaide Boat and Fishing Show starts Friday, July 9 at Wavell Showground.
This is 7 Nightly News with John Riddell.
Tonight, 5 children and their mother found dead after a murder-suicide. Claims lives are at risk with the downgrading of maternity services at the QEH, and the big oil spill claims its first victim. Good evening, and first tonight to Perth, where police are investigating the horrific discovery of one of Australia's worst murder-suicides. The bodies of a 25-year-old mother and her 5 children have been found in a van, gassed to death. A note has been discovered, but investigators are still at a loss to explain why it happened.
A trail bike rider discovered the minivan in remote bushland on Perth's southeastern outskirts late yesterday afternoon. In fading light, ambulance and police rushed to the scene, but it was too late.
It's a very tragic loss. We have 1 adult female and 5 small children that have been confirmed to be deceased.
In the van, a boy who would have turned 8 today. 5-year-old twins, a girl and boy, and 2 girls aged 4 and 2. Police believe the family had been in the van since about noon. The woman's de facto husband and father of the 3 oldest children last saw his wife late yesterday morning.
All we can gather thus far, there was no inkling that anything like this was going to happen, and it was a complete surprise to the father.
The father had found a note left by his wife. Last night, he contacted police.
There was a note left, and what it says and Why it happened exactly, I don't know at this stage. Obviously, it was a cry for help, but it was a bit late.
Police are calling this one of Australia's worst murder-suicides. The family's relatives have been offered counselling, as have the police, ambulance paramedics and the trail bike rider who made the terrible discovery. Rebecca Matthews, 7 Nightly News.
Hundreds of angry Western Suburbs residents have taken to the streets to protest against cuts to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital's maternity services. Doctors claim the lives of mothers and their babies will be put at risk.
The state government is being called upon to deliver as a campaign against downgrading obstetrics services intensifies. No timetable has been set, but only low-risk births will be allowed and obstetricians will be called in on a needs-only basis.
Level 1 basically means that you've got a maternity service without an obstetrician. That's like having a school without teachers.
Certainly is dangerous, and I think it could affect people's lives.
It's estimated that after the downgrade, the number of babies delivered here each year will fall from 1,300 to just 600. Hospital supporters fear the maternity unit will then be deemed not viable. Today's rally didn't impress Health Minister Dean Brown. Late this afternoon, he described it as a waste of time and effort. Western Suburbs residents are concerned their safety will be compromised if local services are axed.
It's a long way to go to Women's and Children's from here, and it's everyone in the Western Suburbs needs to have a safe delivery.
Very sad, very sad. For the community, for Adelaide, for South Australia.
Jessica Sullivan, 7 Nightly News.
Fears tonight that last week's massive oil spill may have damaged more than first thought. A seagull covered in oil has been found on the beach at Aldinga, and the RSPCA believes other oil-affected animals may still be out there.
Schoolboys Ben McArdle and Tristan Stokes found the stricken seagull on the beach at Aldinga. It was covered in oil and couldn't fly. Nicknamed Sam, the RSPCA says it could be the first of many, which are only now being washed up on shore. But for this seagull, the future's looking bright.
If we can get the fluids into him and keep his temperature up and warm and get the oil off him, his survival rate should be good.
The RSPCA is compiling an official report on animals affected by last Monday's oil spill. They need to be cleaned with a special detergent and checked over by a vet. Some may need antibiotics and intravenous fluids.
Mobil has agreed to foot the bill for any animals needing treatment after the oil spill. The cost for one bird alone could run to several $100s.
Mobil is facing an investigation by Transport SA and the EPA after it spilled 270,000 litres of oil into the sea. The state opposition and locals are calling for an independent inquiry.
I think people are angry and just concerned about the wildlife, like genuine concern about the animals.
Anyone who finds an oil-affected animal should contact the RSPCA. Susan Harrington, 7 Nightly News.
The holiday town of Busselton in Western Australia's southwest has been ravaged by floods. Hundreds of people have been evacuated and water and power have been cut. More rain is expected tonight.
The battle to save Busselton was on in earnest last night. 5,000 sandbags filling the breach as the town's diversion drain threatened to burst its banks.
We thought our only problem was going to be keeping the water in this diversion drain, which we fixed last night, and we all went home.
More than 100 millimetres of rain has fallen here in 24 hours. The sheer volume of water coming down had nowhere to go. Suddenly it was lapping at the doors of people's homes on Busselton's southern outskirts. The worst hit area was a new housing development. The water kept rushing through, and by morning the sewage system had failed, the power was off, and water was cut. It was then authorities decided to stage a mass evacuation.
We've been awake all night, wondering if we're going to be evacuated or not.
Yeah.
So it's happened.
Families were forced to grab whatever they could, their most precious possessions. Council trucks took them to safety, while others got out any way they could. There were fears the high tide would cause more havoc, but the waters have slowly been receding. The bad news is there's more showers forecast for tonight, and locals fear any more heavy rain will push the waters back up again. Paul Caddock, 7 Nightly News.
A man is recovering tonight after being rescued from his burning unit by firefighters. Ambulance officers treated the man for smoke inhalation before taking him to hospital. Firefighters quickly extinguished the fire, which is being treated as suspicious. Investigators have found evidence showing 2 separate fires had been set. The damage bill has been estimated at several $1,000s. Coming up after the break, Aborigines protest over new state native title laws, and the American marching band say no thanks to their new Olympic deal.
Vietnam, 1968. And 5 gung-ho soldiers are about to face their biggest assignment.
Moving an elephant's operation is top secret.
Based on a true story.
You cannot put an elephant on an airplane.
About the Army's most secret weapon. Danny Glover, Dennis Leary, and Ray Liotta. Operation Dumbo Drop tonight.
Computer gear, there's only one place to remember. A and R. It's all here. Desks, chairs, you name it. So for a new computer with all the latest goodies, internet and printer and scanner and stacks of software, pay just $3,000. What? $19.99? For all that? Where? A and Port Adelaide and Melrose Park.
Heart and soul, I fell in love with you. Heart and soul, just like a fool would do. Madly.
Now that's essential. Ah, so is that. And that. Essential. Essential. Absolutely essential.
Urban Essentials from Harris Scarf.
Like it.
Charge it at Harris Scarf.
Essential.
Treat yourself soon to our $5.95 Big Value Big Treat. That's a full half of real barbecue chicken, the West's favourite chips, and a cool $3.75 milk Coke. The $5.95 Big Value Big Treat, a chicken treat for a short time only.
Redecorate now and save in Spotlight's winter sellout with 10 to 50% off assorted furnishing fabrics. Yes, you'll save on assorted cotton fabrics, thermal line fabrics, prints, plains and more at up to 50% off. Make your own curtains, cushions and more and save at Spotlight now.
Prominent business leaders will be recruited by the government to help oversee the introduction of the GST. And while the Liberals continue to celebrate their tax win, they've also honoured the party's patriarch.
From Liberal Party outcast to life member, Australia's oldest living leader, Sir John Gorton, receives a rare honour.
Well done, mate.
The 87-year-old former Prime Minister full of praise for John Howard, who has been able to overcome
what years ago I might have described as a wimpishness,
to now be worthy of greater titles.
I think that Sir John Howard has done a wonderful job.
There's no argument from the Federal Council of the Liberal Party. While happy to bask in the glory of the GST, John Howard warns more must be done.
But I hope in the years ahead we can also become a can-do country.
Business tax reform and in particular lowering capital gains tax, the next big steps. A board of prominent business leaders will be appointed to help the government introduce its GST.
A friendly bridge between the tax office and business.
The Prime Minister flies out tomorrow morning for a 2-week visit to Japan and the United States. Before he leaves, though, he's expected to announce the new Trade Minister, replacing Tim Fisher. In Canberra, Mike Amor, 7 Nightly News.
Proposed changes to the state's native title laws have come under fire during a rally in the city today. Aboriginal groups and their supporters took to the steps of Parliament to protest changes which they say will undermine existing native title rights and are therefore racist. Amendments to the bill are due to be debated in Parliament this week. Local Aborigines are calling on the government to postpone the bill. Now, just when we thought a compromise had been reached in the Olympics marching band's controversy, the Americans have again threatened legal action. The so-called New Deal, overseas bands can play anywhere except at the opening ceremony, but they say that's not good enough.
The kind of marching band that is welcome at the opening ceremony.
an all-Australian green and gold powerhouse of young talent showcasing the latest Olympic venue, the near-complete Superdome. The sort of ceremony the 1,500 American and Japanese band members won't be able to perform. It's the steps of the Opera House or nothing, says the Olympics minister.
Is that your final offer?
Yes. Olympics chief Sandy Holway says it's a good offer.
Well, I really hope they will, because I reckon we've fixed this, if I can put it that way.
But the Americans don't think so. They're still practicing for the opening ceremony. No one's told them officially they're out, and they're adamant. If they can't play there, they won't come.
No.
No?
No, it's not the same.
They still have Sydney's letter of invitation to perform at the opening, claiming they won't have permission to come here for non-Olympic events.
The school board is saying no, they will not release the students that many days for that type of trip.
The Sydney organisers aren't concerned with the growing number of legal threats against them either. They're ready to fight fire with fire.
If people want to play hardball with us in the courts, we'll play hardball with them in the courts.
The band leaders fly into town this week. If Sydney's offer is refused, the legal battles begin. Chris Reason, 7 Nightly News.
Bruce joins us. Can I ask you for your thoughts on the marching band controversy?
No.
All right, I've got an easy one. How about Pat Rafter's loss last night?
Well, Pat is out at Wimbledon, but he didn't play bad tennis, just ran into Andre Agassi, who played super tennis.
Yeah.
Also tonight, all today's AFL action, including Craig Bradley's 300th game, cricket, golf, and the McLaren Formula 1 team gets some air.
When Georgia finds out about Allie and Billy's affair, words just won't be enough.
You kissed Allie? I think maybe we should split for a while.
Ally McBeal, Monday.
We're the Tetley Tea folk. Say hello then.
Hello then.
Our job's to make sure every cup of Tetley tastes as good as a cup of tea can be. We blend up to 20 different teas to get that rich, full Tetley taste.
It's an art we've been perfecting since 1837. You could say we've got it down to a T.
That's the Tetley taste. Tetley, great tasting tea since 1837.
You know their hearts are here in our town, but they've got one eye on the world, you see. For the latest information and communication, they're your local blokes from CRT.
CRT searches the world for the best new products and farming techniques, then delivers the local information you need to put them to work for you.
They're your local blokes from CRT.
A truly stunning new album that highlights the soaring vocal talents of Sarah Brightman. Eden. Sarah Brightman. Eden. Discover it now.
This sports segment brought to you by Commodore Series 2.
Welcome back, and Andre Agassi is the world #1 again. 2 years ago, he dropped out of the game, but completed his climb back to the top with an awesome straight sets win over Pat Rafter. He'll play former #1 Pete Sampras in tonight's final. As for the women, Steffi Graf runs into Lindsay Davenport after surviving a tense three-setter against Mirjana Lucic.
Never before has one match meant so much to Pat Rafter. A place in the Wimbledon final and the tag of the world's best at stake. The relaxed look gave way to one of mental fatigue as Pat tried to find a weakness in the hottest game in town. The second seed created 2 break-point opportunities that would have given him the first set.
What a great volley from
Rafter. But failed to convert. Andre didn't fail when serving again. Rafter an easy target for the best returner in the business. Forced to work harder than ever just to stay alive.
What a point.
2 sets up after yet another blistering backhand. Agassi was unstoppable.
Unbelievable return. I played about as good as I could play and about as big of a match as you can have short of tomorrow.
He's won on all surfaces and, you know, he's gone down as a great champion.
The July 4 final will be an all-American affair. Great Britain's great hope, Tim Henman, taking the first set before being taken out by Pete Sampras. Lindsay Davenport will play Steffi Graf in the women's final, the American complementing rising Aussie star Jelena Dokic after trouncing Alexandra Stevenson 6-1, 6-1.
I kind of wanted to play Stevenson more than Dokic. I was a little bit more afraid to play Dokic.
At Wimbledon, Mark Doran, 7 Nightly News.
To football, and we're halfway through our delayed telecast of the Crows Geelong match at Football Park, so if you don't want to know the final score, please look away now. First half highlights begin with World Cup hero Darren Lehmann getting a big welcome home from the fans. Then the Crows set about making their impression, and it started from deep in defence with fullback Nathan Bassett finishing the play.
There he is, Bassett, all the way from fullback, shot for goal, and he's kicked it.
Some old hands began to get involved, including another defender, Rod Jamieson.
And it has come unstuck here, the punch comes to Connell, off to Jamieson, who could kick this, he could kick this.
Geelong couldn't make full use of the breeze in the second quarter, and the Crows kept the running game going, extending the half-time margin to 38 points.
That's the advantage, and it's a goal.
And the Bulldogs got out of jail at the SCG this afternoon. They trailed by 40 points at quarter time, but fought back to win by 22. Chris Grant, Nicky Winmar and Stephen Powell kicked 3 goals each.
An arm wrestle early, Sydney's first goal hard work, but Maxfield Soccer opened the floodgates. Lockett too big, O'Loughlin dazzling, and Lewis clever.
Down to Lewis, tries to dribble on the ground.
The Bulldogs wasted the ball and the Swans made them pay on the counter-attack.
Not good. Luff's got it now. Lockett's on the lead. He's got Schwartz. He can go all the way here. Load up. 30 metres out. And goals.
Sydney led by 40 points at quarter time. The game as good as over, or so it seemed. This the turning point. Kelly levelling an old score, a 50-metre penalty to Liberatore. His goal put the Bullies back in the match. Amazingly, at half-time, they trailed by only 6 points. The Swans are still in charge in the air, but were murdered on the ground.
Back on out to Johnson. Here to Winmar. Winmar runs in. Handballs over the top. Hudson on the ground goes whack and gets his first.
The Bullies by 13 at three-quarter time. They went on to win by 22.
Scotty Wine turns it back to Nicky Winmar, and that is the ball game.
And Carlton has helped skipper Craig Bradley celebrate his 300th game for the Blues with a 34-point win over Hawthorn at Waverley Park. Lance Whitnell kicked 4 goals.
An emotional tribute for the man who's played more AFL matches than any other South Australian, and Carlton was switched on for him. Whitnell had 3 goals at half-time, and Hawthorn had all but kicked itself out of it with 2 goals 10. Whitnell's class still evident in the second half when he turned supplier for Massey, and the Blues kicked away. Bradley, a prolific possession winner across half-back, he had 20 kicks and celebrated his milestone with a goal.
On your 300, son, he does.
Across town at the MCG, undermanned Essendon made short work of error-prone Fremantle.
Is champagne footy by the Bombers. They've ticked 5.
6 goals without reply in the first term and 9 individual goal scorers by half-time as the Bombers made light of the absence of 6 key players.
Brilliantly gathered by Jukabek, who runs it along the ground for another one.
A third-quarter revival by the Dockers. They closed to within 16 points, but 2 goals from Alessio and Essendon had steadied. When Besterfield Mercury kicked his 3rd, the Bombers' 11th win was in the bag.
Shot for goal. Oh, it's a pretty good kick. It's a very good kick by Mercury.
Paul Dowling, 7 Nightly News.
And West Coast's 35-point win over Melbourne last night sees them back on top of the ladder by percentage from Essendon and the Kangaroos. The Bulldogs have leapt into the 4 and Carlton rounds out the 8. Port Adelaide sitting just outside a game clear of Richmond and Melbourne. The Crows or Geelong can go past Hawthorn with a win at Football Park. Remember, the second half follows the news. To golf, and Stuart Appleby is 4 shots off the pace at the Western Open in Chicago. He's equal second after shooting an even par 72 in windy conditions. Tiger Woods is out in front at 14 under.
playing with overnight leader Tiger Woods, Appleby pulled out one of his favourite paddock shots from up on the farm at Kahuna to beat the gusting breeze and grab his fourth birdie of the day at the par 5 15th. But as far as putting, the 28-year-old could only stand back and watch as Woods turned in a magical display. This at the 16th, taking him to 14 under, setting up a 4-shot lead going into the final round. At the Irish Open, Aussie Jared Moseley is tied for second place going into the final round after third round 69. Moseley is 2 strokes behind leader Angel Cabrera, the Argentinian firing a 66. And all set for a big Aussie finish at the Jamie Farr Kroger Classic in Ohio, with 3 Australians within a stroke of the lead. West Australian Shani Waugh shares that lead at 8 under. A stroke further back are Curry Webb and Marty Lunn.
And English cricket fans finally have something to celebrate after an amazing 7-wicket win against New Zealand. Fast bowler Alex Tudor was the hero, but not with the ball. He came in as the night watchman and was there at the end on 99 not out.
Alex Tudor launched into the chase in fine style as England went after a target that wasn't as easy as it looked. New skipper Nasser Hussain ensured England negotiated a slight stumble towards 208. But it was Tudor who hit the winning runs in a remarkable 99 not out, England with 7 wickets in hand. The Tour de France is underway, the opening time trial taken out by American Lance Armstrong. Armstrong making a spectacular comeback from near-fatal cancer. Went a long way to restoring the credibility of the great race after last year's drugs debacle. Best of the Aussies, Stuart O'Grady in 16th position. Across the channel, Japan's Tadayuki Okada has claimed pole for tonight's British 500cc Grand Prix, edging out championship leader Alex Creville, who's recovered from a dislocated hip he sustained last week.
And finally, Jack, something very different from the world of Formula One. I'm all right. David Coulthard really did become a flying Scotsman, along with his McLaren team and even his car. It was inside a Russian jet during a parabolic flight, which saw the plane dive from 10,000 metres to 3,000 metres, achieving zero gravity for about 30 seconds. Spin, spin, spin. There he is. That's exactly what David Coulthard did. The payoff was a Russian cosmonaut getting a drive in a McLaren Formula One car.
Is there any chance we could talk Qantas or Ansett and doing that on a trip to Melbourne as well?
I can't believe, because I've seen you defy gravity in your car on numerous occasions without a jet.
Thanks for your support. Weather details coming up in a moment. Then the Army takes over the streets of Adelaide.
Some mobile phone deals are impossibly complicated. Here's one that's clear and simple. On our B Plan 20, an Ericsson GA628 with no connection fee will cost you just $29 for the handset. You pay $240 over 12 months, but that includes up to $240 worth of free calls. You work out the savings. Call 13 30 20 now for a clear and simple deal. B. Clear and simple.
Hey, true blue.
Come and spend an unforgettable evening with Australia's favourite balladeer, John Williamson.
Galleries of pink alas, you see a bushman can't survive.
Join John around the campfire, share the stories and the songs from his journeys around our country.
Hey, June, July, you don't go to
old favourites and brand new songs. John Williamson in concert. Book now.
Cresta's beautiful blind sale. Aluminium Venetians from a low $65. Timber Venetians from $105. Selected verticals up to 40% off plus free safe track.
It's best to call Cresta now on 133 096.
Coming up next on 7, all the second half action from Footy Park with the big clash between the Crows and the Cats. Stay with us.
Tonight's weather report proudly brought to you by MLC.
Hello again. We had a glorious day weather-wise, lots of blue skies and sunshine, but it was still a little cool. Our maximum reached 15.5 at 2:30 this afternoon after a chilly overnight low of just 3.7 at 7:30 this morning. Currently it's 12 degrees in the city. On our satellite picture tonight, most of the continent is cloud-free, apart from this band of middle-level cloud over northern Queensland, which has produced some showers in Cairns and Townsville. As we take to the skies, there is some frontal cloud band across the Bight that did weaken today as it slipped away to the southeast, leaving our state with fine and sunny conditions, and it will stay that way until at least Tuesday night. On tonight's charts, this high-pressure system here gave us another fine and sunny day and will tomorrow after a cold and frosty morning. And then on Tuesday, a low-pressure system will cause northerly winds to freshen over our state with late showers developing. On Wednesday, the low will move further eastward, so those showers will extend across the settled areas, and they will continue on Thursday as winds turn more southerly. Around the country tomorrow, a few showers over in Perth, fine and sunny in Darwin and in Alice Springs, with showers expected in Cairns, but it should be fine down the rest of the eastern seaboard, except for a few showers down in Hobart. Well, back in our state, we had a very chilly start to the day, but it did warm up, giving us a superb day with lots of sunshine. Temperatures were about average for this time of year. They ranged from 20 degrees at Moomba down to just 10 at Parawa. Our forecast is for another cold night with early morning frost in the eastern districts, and then tomorrow will be a fine and sunny day right across the state with light to moderate northerly winds. Temperatures are expected to range from 20 degrees at Ceduna down to just 14 at Mount Gambier. On our local waters, north to northwest winds of 10 to 15 knots, and then turning more northerly and freshening to 12 to 17 knots, so not bad for yachting. We'll get seas around 1 metre. In the city, our top will reach 18 degrees after an overnight low of 6, so a little warmer than last night. Looking ahead, Tuesday fine and sunny and 18, so good for the school holidays, with showers expected on Wednesday and Thursday. And on our 7-day outlook, those showers will start to ease on Friday, but we are expecting another fine weekend. Well, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Now it's back to John. I'll see you again next weekend. Good night.
Thanks, Shirley. And just before we go, an age-old custom was observed in Adelaide today, soldiers exercising their freedom of the city. Members of the 10th 27th Battalion took to the streets, almost 130 battalion officers and soldiers marching from Torrens Parade Ground to the Town Hall. The military tradition dates back to the 17th century when British troops marched through the city of London with bayonets fixed, colours flying and music playing. The last time the battalion exercised the right was, of course, back in 1986. We all remember that. We were all there, I'm sure. See you next weekend. Good night, everyone.
When you've got a job to do, the best way to get 10 out of 10 results is teamwork. That's why with help from the teams at Mitre 10 at Wattle, you'll not only be a winner, you'll also be helping to support South Australia's favourite sons, the Adelaide Crows.
We got Daddy.
And that's gotta feel good.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Right now, your nearest mobile net dealer is holding 3 of a kind, including the Philips Savvy for just $49 on a mobile net value 10 or value 15 plan. Or how about the Panasonic G520, exclusive to mobile net at just $49. That's a $30 saving. And also at $49, you can grab the Motorola Jazz DB. At that price, you can afford to double up. Head to your nearest mobile net dealer for these great deals. They're one of a kind. Tonight, it's Mark's Bear All home documentary.
Where do you see what I did with the spoon?
But what will Jules' professor make of it?
And what is the deal with men, you know, and their comb-overs? I mean, this one was starting his neck and strands across.
Home Improvement tonight on 7.
Half-time at Football Park in Adelaide on a perfect day, and it's a big break, 38 points at half-time to the Crows, who kicked 3 goals to 2 in that second quarter to lead 10-5 to 4-3. Edwards and Vardy 2 each for the leaders, and just singles for the Cats. Well, it's all just going downhill at the moment for Gary Ayres, who is the Geelong coach. He started getting in a grand final early in his career, but it's amazing. The Cats have lost their last 8 games in a row, and unless they can arrest things here at half-time or after half-time, it'll be 9 losses in a row for the Cats. Now, Gary Ayres was a great player. It's probably that far ago that you don't quite remember it, but let's go back to a magic moment for Gary Ayres. We go back into the 80s, and twice he was a Norm Smith medalist in a grand final, a Mitsubishi moment, and Gary Ayres in his heyday as a player.
With 18 kicks and 8 hand passes, Gary Ayres earned the right to stand on the podium after the 1986 Grand Final and be presented with the Norm Smith Medal. In one of those great moments in Grand Finals, Ayres would send through a goal that added to the Hawks' huge third-quarter lead.
You don't get to kick too many goals in a Grand Final, and I remember the ball was rebounded out. I'd played a kick behind the play, and lucky enough it fell in my arms, and I had a long set shot from goal, and it sailed through, and yeah, I was pretty excited about the goal.
In 1988, Ayres would become only the second man to win the Norm Smith Medal on 2 occasions, a record that still stands. Gary Ayres, another Mitsubishi memorable moment.
The crowd not actually jam-packed in here, probably reflects how the Crows have been going recently. Not quite a full house, but the Crows doing the job here today, certainly against the Cats, and leading by 38 points going into the second half. And hope you're enjoying the telecast around the country. We'll go down to the boundary line, and Neil Curley.
Yeah, hi, Drew. Well, from our point of view, let's hope the Crows keep it going. Of course, from Geelong's point of view, they'd like to see a bit better effort from their side. And Jarman is clear medically. There's nothing wrong with him at all.
Yeah, it's very interesting that he's been put to the bench a couple of times in this game. Late in the first quarter and late in the second quarter. Comes to Rasciuto up near centre wing. Burton takes hold of the footy. Back over his shoulder. Edwards. I haven't seen him play as well as this ever. Tyson Edwards.
Well, he's a good player, Drew. I think he's much underrated. In fact, of the Crows players, he and Ben Hart have been remarkably consistent this year.
And extremely skillful, Graham. And when he's on song, he's a very skillful player.
And when he gets a chance to have a crack at a mark too, he doesn't mind flying, but he's needed as a ground level player here.
13 goals, 3 for the season. Breeze at his back and slightly right to left. Gives it a ride on the breeze and just sneaks it in.
Well, it's his third goal. He's a vital member of that Crows lineup, and again the Crows getting the first break out of the centre. Tyson Edwards running into the area where the ball can be delivered to him. He's a very, very accurate kick for goal, and you can see that's from 51 or 52, but the breeze is over his right shoulder, so it's probably not as difficult as it looks.
It's good stuff on the Crows, and you know, from that sort of kick, Graham, from 52, 53 metres out, it's just a good start for him.
Well, you'd sense your chances, wouldn't you? Even you would have had a go for that.
Oh, mate, I would have talked it.
This season, the Crows have averaged 3 goals a game less than the Cats over 13 rounds, and here they are, 11 goals to 4. Absolutely pumping them.
It just seemed to be winning the ball out of the centre a lot, especially in the first half, Graham, and all of a sudden in the last two bounces, the Crows have won it.
Yeah, Lucas Herbert, Shane Allen, Trent Ormond-Allen on the Crows bench there.
That's a free kick against Downsborough. Got rid of his opponent before he knocked the ball out. And Tim McGrath will take the free kick. Acting captain today for the Cats. Comes out wide to King. He's been missing for about a month with ankle problems. Not a bad kick up towards half forward. Arnott. Arnott down towards the pocket. Good lead by Graham, a dive and a mark.
Benny Graham started in the back pocket on Big McGregor playing his first game. They've moved him to full forward. Nathan Bassett has been tremendous at full back. But that was a good lead. And when the kick comes in low and a big fella can get down and slide into the mark, there's not much a fullback can do about that. There he is. Hands under the ball. Under the ball was the critical factor.
Breeze across him, left to right from there. That is a beautiful kick. Oh, that couldn't miss by much. Looked all right from here.
Looked all right from here, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think it snuck in behind the goal post, but the Geelong supporters behind the goal are giving the goal umpire a bit.
Put in by Jamison, getting so much more distance going left to right. About a 2-goal breeze, we'd reckon. And here's a catch-free kick just outside the 50. Be taken by Liam Pickering, who's had a real struggle since winning the best and fairest in '97. He played just 3 games last year. He's been dropped this year. Stephen King.
Well, look, that's a classical example. He's gone sideways to King, and the play's just immediately stagnated.
Bassett, first hands of the ball. Hart. That defence has worked miracles today. And remember that Nigel Smart isn't there. Comes to Bassett. Beautiful kick to Burton on the wing. Burton with a bit of height and a bit of distance with the breeze. Harley spoiling from behind. Did pretty well there, young Harley. Comes to McLeod. Hasn't been one of his best today. Well, McGregor has been excellent in his first game. Some sort of a hand pass away. Liptak just took his eyes off it at the last moment. McGregor after it again. Good pickup.
A good second effort.
That's fantastic. Costa. Deep inside 50. Jarman underneath the ball. Vardy to run onto it. He's got it.
Which one-ton club cab offers more cab storage space than any other ute in its class? Which one-ton ute now offers soundproofing at passenger car levels? And which one-ton ute features side intrusion beams for that unexpected impact? One-ton Triton.
Well, Darren Jarman just couldn't get his hands on the ball, but it spilled down to Vardy, who was a pretty good option, and he's kicked his third.
Welcome back, Peter Vardy.
I think he's enjoying it, Graham.
These are the days to come back if you've been struggling with injury and form.
Kicked 7 here one day, didn't he, against the Power?
I think 7 goals, 6 or something.
Yeah. Yep, 13 shots at goal. Arnott. Good run by McGrath. Well, the acting skipper certainly hasn't given it up during this poor spell for the Cats. Good mark by James Riley. He puts it to the top of the goal square for Ronnie Burns, playing under duress. And that's a free kick, Goodwin.
He's played pretty well on Burns. He had much of effect on this game, Burns, but Goodwin's been right with him.
Pittman's kick towards centre wing. Burton caught behind, and Milburn takes a good mark.
Actually, that's been a good contest, hasn't it, Burton and Milburn?
Yeah, Milburn with 14 possessions.
He was just so good when the Cats were good early in the season. Here's McGregor. The crowd let him know there was pressure from behind. What a pass for Downsborough. Jamison. Oh, Liptak might get another one. 55 metres out. Low for Jarman, bringing the champ into the play.
For about the first one he's had all day, Drew. A great pass to Jarman and spot on.
Actually, boys, up top, the latest information on the Jarman saga is the boys up in the box felt he was going to ground far too often.
Kells, I think it might be a little bit to do with the fact these contract negotiations are probably happening very shortly too.
Now, come on, Graham, don't be involved in that.
Think they might save some money?
Well, he's been a great player. He's well paid.
Jarman for his first goal today, would you believe it, after 9 last week, and he's missed it.
But, Kells, would you take him off the ground because he was falling over a little bit too much? Darren Jarman, take him off the ground because he's going to ground?
Well, the one that counts, Malcolm Blight did.
Also, well, I suppose it really depends on what sort of boots he's wearing. If he's wearing the long studs or the moulded soles, that's got to come into it.
Well, if he's wearing rubber sprigs after they've told him to wear the long ones, yes, you can understand that, but it seems to be a fairly unusual thing to do to a champion player.
Tom Harley short to McGrath, now to Lowther, still only at half-back flank. Daniel Lowther weaves towards the centre corridor and then kicks towards the centre square. Lynch in the middle of the chop, it comes to the front. The Crows always have more options. Hart got the ball, finished up with Rasciuto, wide to Costa. They've worked it out towards the outer side with no pressure whatsoever. Liptak.
He's got Burton loose if he wants him.
Still there, still waving.
Liptak to Vardy or Jarman.
Charles.
Over the top. Peter Vardy for his fourth.
ci tengo la mia macchina, sai, è proprio un amore. E capirai, quindi, mi è venuto quasi un attacco cardiaco quando ha cominciato a fare bang, bang, bang. L'ho portato subito oltre Ciune e il meccanico mi ha detto che si trattava del timing. Hanno fatto la diagnosi, me l'hanno aggiustata e non mi hanno fatto pagare mica tanto, sai. Oltre Ciune, brava gente. I speak my language.
Well, last week it was Jarman kicking all the goals. He kicked 9 straight. Today he hasn't managed a goal. He's kicked just 2 behinds. Vardy's kicked 4 straight.
And the team is functioning better. It's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Looks really good. And I think the bookmakers might be tumbling their odds for a final spot right now. It's probably tumbled over the last hour and a half.
A little bit of work to be done yet, Broom. This is a game at home against Geelong, whose form hasn't been good.
It just seems like the Geelong's confidence is just falling away, you know, like even that pass then just went to no one.
Burton into Rasciuto. And
out of bounds, through.
Took it out of bounds.
Well, see,
he played on over the line, didn't he?
No, he took the mark and was out of bounds, but the umpire had called play on because it was obviously touched off. Now, the umpire's called play on here. You don't see it. Called play on, and of course, once he called play on, it was out of bounds.
Yeah, but the boundary line, boundary umpire didn't call it.
I think the field umpire can rule if he's obviously out of bounds.
And just by playing the ball with a hand pass, or did he take a step? Was that his problem?
I'm not sure whether he actually ran off the line when he took the mark. I seem to think the ball might have been touched off the boot.
Yeah. Oh, might have to watch Talking Footy for a bit more on that one. On Monday night, Riley goes out wide. Tristan Lynch looking into the sun and kicking into the breeze. So not too easy from there. Over the head of Graham Vardy. He's kicked 4, and here he is behind half back.
Well, Carl Steinford's run down to try and get a kick, and Peter Vardy's gone with him, and the ball's found him, as it would when you're having a great day like this.
Thanks, Carl, for taking me into the play. On the logo, McGrath the first to break. Well, they could do with more Tim McGraths in the lineup, the Cats. Comes to Scholl. Not a bad kick this time. Steinford. Over the head of Burns and onto the chest of Graham.
Actually, this boy here, he's been tried at full forward on a few occasions this year, and he has kicked goals. I wonder just how he'd be if he was a permanent full forward.
I'm just not sure whether he's explosive enough. I love watching him play, and he's got good football skills even apart from his kicking. But you just have to have a certain explosiveness.
35 metres out, drills it.
Well, that's what he does. He kicks goals.
Southern Gale
Premium Light.
$18.99.
hanging on the wall. Southern Pale Ale Stubbies.
$26.99. Can I do that again? West End Draft, 28-pack.
$26.99.
So much beer, so little time.
Oh.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local sip and save.
So Ben Graham, the Cats' usual full-back, is their leading goal scorer today. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. Their only multiple goal scorer. Barnes wins in the middle. He's just replaced Stephen King on the ball, but the Crows have it. Lip tack to Edwards. Kick by Edwards. Jarman!
Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, that's good play. Good play, Matthew Liptak. Good play, Tyson Edwards. It's a left foot kick. And look at this take. He just leads out, takes the ball in front of his eyes.
From the centre bounce against Graham, they're just absolutely killing him in the centre.
David Pittman limping off.
Yeah, not too good, David Pittman.
That's his first goal today.
Well, it might be his first, Drew, but he's provided a focal point. He's given the players a target, and the ground level players are working well around him. He's certainly given the ball up. There's David Pittman. He was limping. They're working on his knee or ankle curls. Shin.
I can't get in there.
Knee. We can see it's his knee curls.
And they're trying to block the camera from being able to see
you're kidding, Trevor. Trevor Jakes.
Trevor's okay, mate, we've got it.
Trevor Jakes, the Crows training services manager there, providing the screen.
Well, this is a bit of a thumping now for the Cats. And James somehow got the hand pass back. Jamison, well done to Hart. And what a kick from one step, Ben Hart. Into the 50. Lynch gets back. Goes towards the outer wing. 2 against 2 out here. Oh, Milburn, excellent mark. On the run, Scholl. Half-distance pass. And here's Graham. Back to Scholl.
Well, we'll have to look at it. There's good work from both players. Gee, it looked okay to me, Drew.
Well, I'm happy with that tackle, yeah. Barry Stoneham, a rare touch for Big Baz. He's right in front here, 40 metres out.
It's been amazing, the Geelong forward line. Like, the first 5 weeks is they were just the forward line talk of the town. 9 weeks later, they're the talk of the town of not being a forward line. So, you know, I think Gary has got some problems at the moment.
But where does he go?
Stoneham shot for goal. Won't make it into that breeze. That's a good mark by Hall.
That's a very good mark.
I don't like his angle. He'll be kicking from the white line.
He's had a good duel with Mark Prosciutto. Mark Prosciutto's had the best of this, but it's a good grab.
Well, might get a bit of protection from the breeze, but he'd hardly be able to squeeze this through, but he has.
Grab the rod, head for the jetty, relax, and catch some fish. That's fine. But first, you must pay.
Puts the accountability back into fishing.
Is this the future for SA's 400,000 recreational fishermen? A special report Monday on 7 Nightly News. Then on Today Tonight, the South Aussie mum charged with assault for saving her son from school bullies.
All I was doing was defending my son.
While another mum paid a big boy money to protect her child.
Enough just became enough.
How far can a mother go? From 6 o'clock on 7.
Well, quite an amazing goal there by Derek Hall. His first goal for the day. And the margin, a straight half-century. 50-point lead to the Crows. And with about 10 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Prosciutto's hand pass. Oh, James, he lost it, regained it. Edwards to Prosciutto. Beautiful football. It was aimed for McLeod. The ball's back towards centre wing. Could be an expensive turnover. Comes to Scholl.
Well, there's a lot happening behind the play there.
A bit of a blue going on back at half-back for the Cats. And at half-forward for the Cats, it's a free kick to be taken by Mooney.
Well, it's all over, but still the reserve umpire feels he has to run out there.
It's amazing how a bit of good old-fashioned footy gets people excited, isn't it?
Well, it was a fairly strong attack by Mark Prosciutto on Peter Riccardi, and some of the Geelong players thought it was a bit late, but there was nothing in it.
Mooney, goalless for the day, their leading goal kicker for the season. And that holds up as though it hit a brick wall and has rushed through.
I think the goal umpire got knocked over, but credit to him, his eyes were still on the ball, which was just fantastic.
Now, we'll just have a look at this bump of Mark Prosciutto. You see Peter Riccardi's got the ball. Prosciutto comes straight through.
They've got an update on Pittman. A slight knee strain may not be risked any more of the game.
They won't be able to field a team soon, the Crows. They're just going down week after week. Goodwin. His kick. McGregor front position. Just an 18-year-old in his first game. He has done all the right things today. Comes to Riccardi, who's recovered from the bump pretty well. Attempted mark from the back by Graham. Comes to Mooney. Out to Arnott. Kick put wide for Hall. Kick one from the boundary line a moment ago. This time Prosciutto tries to go down the line but gets it out.
Sorry, Kills.
You know, Graham, just what could happen to a team like Geelong, like win 5 in a row and now heading for their 9th defeat. You just wonder what areas have let them down.
Well, we can go on with it later, Kills, but there's a bit happening in front of goals.
Barnes back to Raleigh. Unmarked in the goal square, and here's a goal coming up for Milburn.
Well, Darren Milburn, sorry. Darren Milburn is the ruck rover. He's drifted down and nobody went with him. I think probably because Brett Burton has moved out of the ruck roving role to half forward, and Tyson Edwards probably unused to that defensive role. But you see a nice little kick by Raleigh. I think he was going for goal, but all of a sudden Milburn popped up with it.
It's been their best player too. Milburn's had a good time.
Well, The Cats trailed by 56 points not that long ago, and the margin is now back to 43. Been some decent turnarounds in football in recent times. Surely they couldn't come back from here, but they're getting all the football. Pickering out of the middle. Lowther. Kick by Lowther. They're working into the breeze, don't forget. Geelong in this quarter. Good mark by Hart.
Well, it was a great mark. He misread it, actually. Had to change in mid-air. Got his hands back underneath it.
It was a poor kick, though, from the Geelong player. I think it was a missed kick.
In this quarter, the Crows have kicked 4 goals to 3 going with this breeze. And the last time they went with it, in the first quarter, they kicked 7 goals to 2. Raleigh. Back he goes. Lynch, round the corner on the bounce. Milburn. He's had a great season, Darren Milburn.
Played well today, Drew.
Lynch, Arnott, Ronnie Burns, a rare touch. Wide for Steinfort. Hey, the Cats are looking a bit better. Steinfort inside the 50. Front and square, Graham. Off the left hand is not bad. Gets it back from Pickering. He can kick these, Graham. Look at this!
Oh, you come and watch that.
When Georgia finds out about Allie and Billy's affair, words just won't be enough.
You kissed Allie? I think maybe we should split for a while.
Allie McBeal, Monday.
Leave me alone. We're just trying to help you, all right? Get off. Where did you get all those bruises from?
Don't tell anyone, all right? I don't want anyone to know.
Sorry, mate. I have to.
All Saints, Tuesday.
3 steps. The timing is magnificent.
It is. It's a ghost to win, and it's just outside 50, so fantastic.
He has reached the par 4 off the tee with that. And the Cats have come back. They've kicked the last 3 goals in this game. They've got it again out of the middle. Riccardi, an accidental soccer away from himself. He's followed up. Graham applying the pressure. They are putting the pressure on the forward line. Down goes Stevens. Umpire says it's high. Malcolm Blight starting to get a bit agitated now. McLeod goes short to Vardy, who's kicked 4. Back to McLeod. McLeod's kicked nothing. Jarman.
Oh, that's magnificent.
Hey, fellas, there is definitely a bigger spring in the Cats player step at the moment. They're really excited, and they're putting on a bit of a show for their club.
Yes, but just when it's needed, McLeod lifts the eyes, sees Jarman. Jarman does something special. And if he kicks this, it probably would extinguish any brief resurgence.
In front, 45 metres.
Ooh.
And he has sprayed it to the right. And Jarman has kicked 1 goal 3 today. Well, he started poorly. His first shot was a poster. And, well, I suppose over a period of 2 weeks, he's kicked 10 goals 3. But, well, it's funny, isn't he? He kicks 9 straight in a losing score. He's kicked 1-3 today, and they're a mile in front.
Maybe the pressure's not as great. Maybe he needs the pressure to be maximum. Great mark to Barnes there.
Just on that last kick of Jarman, I think Bradshaw was given a bit of a mouthful, and Jar's sort of the concentration level might have just gone off him.
Oh, Lynch, well played. Cats have certainly lifted in the last 10 minutes. Wide to James Raleigh. Connell runs him down. Raleigh's kick. Bamford, he's got the toe. Left footer is clever. Riccardi used his hip and shoulder pretty well. And it's through for a behind, and the Crows will be happy with that result.
Well, there's a certain amount of urgency now about both teams and desperation on the Crows' last line of defence. And James Raleigh on the wing again.
I'm going to go back to Graham. I reckon he could be Gary Ablett's replacement if left at full forward.
Ben Graham?
I agree. Ben Graham. I think he'd be a great goal kicker.
There's only one person who could replace Gary Ablett.
Gary
he's
Ablett's
he's upstairs, that
yes.
bloke.
Well, it's a big call, Curls. We'll mark that down. You said that at the 22-minute mark of the 3rd quarter, round 14 at Footy Park. Here goes James.
How well they too, Brett James.
Nobody coming to him. So James kicks to Jarman. It doesn't reach him. And the mark is taken by Pickering. Making a return back from the reserves today. Across ground. Acting captain, Bluey McGrath.
Got Hall on the wing.
Tim McGrath goes wide. Hall takes the mark. Right half-back flank. Unmarked at centre wing is Scholl. gee, if the Cats can kick maybe 2 more before three-quarter time and come home with the breeze, they might be 1,000,000 to 1. Vardy, half back to half forward. Connell, punched down by McGrath. It spills to Milburn, who just keeps getting the football. Well, that'd be a team plan. He goes wide to Harley, playing his first game for the Cats, second AFL game.
It was a good call, Drew. They switched the play nicely then.
So they've got to keep moving it quickly, though, before the Crows players get down there.
Ball to McGrath. Gee, he's been good. I think he's relished the chance to captain the Cats today, and he has been everywhere. Just under 5 minutes to three-quarter time. Oh, what a shocking kick.
Hold the ball on for too long, and all the Crows players get down there, and they turn it over.
And all Adelaide here. McLeod goes to James. Loves the hand pass. He'll get it back from Stevens. Another hand pass, James. Rashudo to get just in time. Good tackle by Graham. Put enough pressure on to turn the ball over. That's Graham coming from full forward to tackle a midfielder near the centre circle. And that's the sort of thing that probably hasn't been happening for 8 losses in a row.
Yeah, well, Gary Ablett wouldn't do that.
Good on your curls. Beautiful. Liptak takes the mark.
Well, it's a pity to the Geelong player appealing for the mark at half-back. It wasn't paid, and the ball just bounced out and allowed the crowd. You just watch this, isn't it, mate?
With this.
Great.
Well, he shouldn't have dropped it.
You do have to hold it.
So Liptak for goal. Oh, it's good. It's home.
10 out of 10. When you've got a job to do, the best way to get 10 out of 10 results is teamwork. That's why with help from the teams at Mitre 10 and Wattle, you'll not only be a winner, you'll also be helping to support South Australia's favourite sons, the Adelaide Crows.
We got Daddy.
And that's gotta feel good.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Margin back to 43 points, but it had been 56 earlier on. Back in the centre with 3.5 minutes to go to three-quarter time. Barnes wins. Connell has his kick smothered. It spills to Ronnie Burns. Ronnie out of the centre square. Great pass, Hall. Well, that is good use of the football, and Gary Ayres would have been pleased with that by Ronnie Burns.
Well, straight to the middle, Drew. It's just so important here. Great smother. Burns get the ball. Good run. Good pace. And a beautiful kick to Hall.
Well, they're not lying down, are they? Your sense is beyond them, but they've definitely lifted.
So Derek Hall in front, 40 metres out. Oh, it's close to the left-hand goalpost. Yes! Hall's kicked 2 in this quarter. 1 from a long way out and 1 from an impossible angle.
And Malcolm Blight's making a few changes. Matt Connell's coming off the ground now. They could not be critical of his endeavour, but James Rowley has had a fair bit of the ball in this quarter. Trent Allen, who is a renowned tagger for the Crows, but you sense won't find the ball anywhere as much as Matthew Connell. Might be being blamed for that. He's on the phone to him. Now, it would be interesting to see that kick of Connell's again, because the kick was smothered by the Geelong player.
So it wasn't like a mistake by Connell, just his efforts of trying to get the ball out of his possession.
Barnes wins again in the middle. A deft hand pass out to Burns. Here come the Cats again. Arnott, not a great kick. Mooney overruns the ball. It spills to Bassett. Rugby tackle by Mooney. Got to be a free kick umpire. Burns has got the footy. Out to Graham. And Graham bounces it. Oh, for a behind. But that had to be a free kick for the best rugby tackle I've seen in football this year.
Certainly missed that one, Drew, and hopefully we might be able to get that up again. So it was definitely around the legs.
6 goals the margin. And look at Mooney.
He's taking his... The tackle has to be below or above the knees. It was below the knees, and the umpire ignored it.
Stevens. Just 2.25 minutes remaining to three-quarter time.
That's fair.
Yeah, free kick.
Graham, 2 of the Crows' best ball getters, Edwards and Connell, are off the ground for some reason.
Well, we might see why Matt Connell's been taken from the ground.
Here's Hart inside the 50. Good mark taken in defence by Barnes, who probably needed to lift with Stephen King coming back today. Any poor form from Barnes might see him gone. Burton intercepts the hand pass. Oh, great stuff.
Top of him.
James. Actually, he took nearly the mark of the year there off a hand pass. And Peter Vardy goes back for a set shot from 55 metres. He has kicked 4 goals straight, and a breeze at his back. If he absolutely nailed this, he could kick his 5th, but he is looking to give it off.
Big chance here, Drew. Burton is probably 10 minutes away from asking for the ball.
He's not confident.
Gee, be a chance from there, wouldn't he, Curls?
Have to be.
Plenty of height. Not quite there. Marking contest. Comes to the front. Oh, it's not out of there yet for the Cats. Taken to the line by Lynch. And Stevens!
James Tyson.
James Tyson.
Yeah. Well, James Tyson has come onto the ground for Edwards on the half-forward flank, and there's a good tackle there. The tremendous tackle by Matthew Liftak goes after it. Tyson looks up, sees the goals. That's all he needs. He just needs to see them. Now, this is why Matt Connell was taken from the ground. We see him racing onto the ground. Matt Connell with the ball, gets the kick quickly. It's smothered and goes back. He was taken from the ground very shortly after that, and the coach on the phone in quite a vigorous fashion. So it was a bit tough, though, wouldn't you, Johnny?
Yeah, very tough, Graham, if that was why he came off.
Raleigh flips up the hand pass. McLeod intercepts. A couple of goals here and really kill this game, you'd think.
Bounce through.
A long kick. Hits the post.
Oh, Kimmy Costa, he needs to kick a goal. He's only kicked 2 this year, 38 in his career.
You never hear the end of it, did you?
And you mean that in the nicest possible way, Kills, don't you?
Exactly. But you can see why the reason Geelong are struggling. Like they have far too many turnovers. Yeah.
Lynch kicks in for the Cats. Just 36 seconds to go. McGregor takes the mark. And what a display he's given in his first game of AFL football. An 18-year-old, drafted last October.
Being manned up by Barry Stone in this quarter. His kick is a good one to Matthew Liptak too. But an 18-year-old kid having to stand Barry Stoner, what an ask.
He's done well with it, Graham. Good pass. Lippy again, probably about 40 metres out from goals.
Well, man on the mark is. He'll be kicking from a bit more than that, but he could nearly get it there. 49 metres he kicked it from. Oh, great goal. He's kicked his 3rd.
His second one for the quarter too, Drew. So, and he's had the last 2 goals kicking from about 45, 50 metres. So
it's a beautiful kick. He's been criticised earlier in his career for his kicking, but he's worked so hard on it. Sometimes under pressure it goes astray, but he rarely misses those kicks for goal, and he's just slowly making his way back into the Crows lineup. His confidence improving every game, and Liam Pickering giving him a bit there.
Malcolm Blight down at ground level, sitting on the bench. Don't know whether there was a disconnection with the phone. He might have hung up so hard he broke it. Back in the middle, just seconds remaining to three-quarter time, and the Crows have finished this term off well and surely have snuffed out the final breath of the Cats. There is three-quarter time. They were threatened, but they answered the challenge, and they lead by 49 points at the last change. But I don't think much that you could say to Malcolm Blight at the moment would appease the coach.
No, and he's sent Daryl Hart across to speak to Tyson Edwards. There's obviously some reason why Tyson Edwards taken off the ground. Daryl Hart, the assistant coach, is still speaking with Tyson Edwards. Matt Connell makes his way alone and forlornly to the huddle.
Well, they got to within 36 points there, the Cats, and with a breeze to come home with, bit of a show, but the last few goals for the Crows, and the margin is 49 points, 17-8 to 9-7.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly now meet some of the big winners. Rachel Clark from Queensland, and the Morgan family from New South Wales, and Pat Collins from Tasmania. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is big.
Heart and soul fell in love with you, heart and soul, just like a fool would do madly.
Sarah Homes are the design innovators for holiday homes, weekenders and country homes. Whether you wish to build at the beach, by the river or as a rural retreat, from around $30,000, Sarah Homes can tailor build a home to suit your specific requirements. Picture a Sarah Homes retreat on your piece of paradise. Call 8243-0388 for a Sarah Homes brochure today.
If you want to pay your insurance bill fortnightly, you can. If you want to pay it monthly, you can. Or if you want to pay it quarterly, half-yearly or yearly, you can do that too. Because at SGIC, we believe in giving you the choice.
Save now in Spotlight's winter sellout with 10 to 50% off assorted bed linen. Yes, save a massive 10 to 50% off top brands such as Partex, Actal, Coo and more, with heaps of designs in store now. So if you want to save up to 50%, then rush into Spotlight.
Inside the advertiser, you'll learn all about skincare. You'll learn all about makeup. And how to use colour. From your hair to your toes, it's all in your Beauty Bible. A series of 6 stylish and informative beauty magazines. Get your next issue free in tomorrow's advertiser.
It's been totally re-engineered and redesigned with more safety features and more luxury than ever before. And now it's available with a PowerTech V8 engine and the unique Quadra Drive 4-wheel drive system. Introducing the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable Jeep ever.
McDonald's McMatching with Monopoly now meet some of the big winners. Rachel Clark from Queensland, and the Morgan family from New South Wales, and Pat Collins from Tasmania. McMatch and win Monopoly. Stick around. This is big.
Vietnam, 1968. And 5 gung-ho soldiers are about to face their biggest assignment.
Moving an elephant's operation is top secret.
Based on a true story.
You cannot put an elephant on an airplane.
About the Army's most secret weapon. Danny Glover, Dennis Leary, and Ray Liotta. Operation Dumbo Drop tonight.
And back at Football Park, it is three-quarter time, and the Crows, with the breeze in that quarter, kicked 7 goals to 5. The Cats challenged, but the Crows finished off the term well to lead by 49 points, 17-8, top kicking to 9 goals 7.
The 1999 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership season, partly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment. And the new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5, the next generation.
Well, 2 other games being played today in the AFL, and the final scores, Essendon and Fremantle, and the Bombers still up there in the top bracket, 16-12 to 10 goals 12 at the MCG. And Hawthorn and Carlton, and the Blues did it for Craig Bradley, 13-11-89 to 7-13-55. And the official AFL website on www.afl.com.au, and you can actually get commentary from the 7 commentary team on selected matches for a round. So tell your friends overseas, they can get us on the internet. Live scores, stats and detailed match reports. Down on the boundary line, Neil Curley.
A bit more commitment run today, Darryl.
Yeah, we've sort of talked about that, our lack of movement, and probably Rashudo's been a key going back to half-back. He's run really well. It's a matter of keeping up that pressure now. It's very important.
They tested you halfway through that quarter.
Yeah, we just lost a little bit of the ball for a bit, but those last couple of goals were handy. So, again, if you take your chances, you're in the game.
Thanks for your time. Back to you, Drew.
Thanks, Curls. Well, it is a breeze, but it is not this sort of a breeze.
No, it's not a 9-goal breeze. Well, whilst Geelong did challenge in that third quarter, I thought Adelaide always had the ability to withstand it. regroup and come back at them.
Shocking bounce by the umpire. Johnny Barnes won't mind. Favours him in the middle. Taken by Costa, who nearly kicked a goal in the third quarter. Now James has it. Oh, McLeod in the middle of a pack. How did he mark that at knee height? Kicked by Andy McLeod. Jarman in front.
It's a magnificent mark. He just takes that final step, leaps into the air, takes it. But this Andrew McLeod, I would say, is the best footballer in the AFL with balls below waist level. He just rarely fumbles when the ball is below his waist, and that's a classical. It was a difficult mark to take. He turned around, saw Jarman on the lead, and that was an equally good take as well. It was over his head.
35 metres, Jarman goals. His second for the day.
Well, the opportunity to come down to Jarman is, even though that Tom Harley has had a pretty good day on him, passes like this, you just cannot stop the man. And, that's his second one for the day. I think there'll be plenty more before the end of the day.
Just his final take. Yeah, he felt the pressure at the back, took that one stride, that one bounding stride, and again took the ball in front of his eye. An object lesson for a young man, how he takes the ball in front of his eyes.
Ball back in the centre, and a real killer for the Cats if they gave themselves a legitimate chance of coming back. Herbert wins in the middle. Milburn sends it back for the Cats. Well done, Riley on all fours. Oh, that's some sort of a throw. Backhanded by Milburn. Taken by Herbert. Burton a fist to it. Is it basketball or football? Eventually the Cats get it out. Barnes on the run. Scholl's gone forward. Loves a goal, this fella. Sees the gap between the posts. Goes for it, but hooks it.
He's been playing on the wing since half-time. He's had a pretty good battle with Kim Costa, but looking at him now making his way back, it looks like he's on Peter Vardy.
Vardy looks like yes.
So the Crows to bring the ball back into play. Ben Hart towards the boundary line, still in the defensive 50 to Jamison. Well, the Cats last week lost a game to the West Coast, a game which was virtually lost in the first quarter. And I suppose they might look back today and think that they lost this game in the first quarter when the Crows kicked 7-2. And the Breeze is about 2 goals, certainly not 5. Jamison, short of centre wing. Herbert has done all right. Crows have had 10 players who've played their first games for the club this year. That's a hell of a turnover, isn't it, Cornsey?
Their injury list is just atrocious, so much. So there's the Crows bench. David Pittman, he's nursing a slight knee injury. Shane Allen was one of the others. Tyson Edwards, who the assistant coach spent a fair bit of time with at three-quarter time.
Now, I think that's the first ever deliberate kick out of bounds we've seen.
And Matt Connell is obviously the other player that's still on the bench as well.
Lowther's kick up to the 50. Curls, we've seen a few, but they just don't get paid.
Yeah, good point, Drew.
Gee, they're probably 35 a game.
They do have to crack down on it, though.
I agree.
Friday night, Collingwood playing Port Adelaide, it was really farcical.
Clark, high tackle perhaps. Ormond Allen, yes.
I just thought he had him here, and unfortunate enough for Ormond Allen, he probably should have just grabbed his waist instead of the top of his shoulder.
Well, you're not allowed to do that, are you?
Oh, it's not.
You're just not allowed to do that.
David Clark, whose father, David, won 2 best and fairest for the Cats.
Can't see too much in his father and the way he moves yet, can we? But he's still only a young man. Maybe that will emerge.
And this is his 5th game in the AFL, and he's yet to kick a goal. So a chance for young David Clark to get on the board for the first time. 30 metres out.
Not a bad kick.
That's all right. And he's got it.
Cianonna, I've made you an arrabbiata recipe.
Bravo, Gianni.
Telstra's new easy rates, low flat rates by the minute or the half hour to every country in the world.
It's the most delicious ever, Nonna.
Like Italy. For a quick call, dial 0011 for 45 cents a minute. Or for a long chat, dial 0018 and save even more with an $11 half-hour block.
Well, the second most delicious, huh?
Allora mangi benissimo.
Making it easy for you.
Back in the middle, and youngster David Clark gets the 10th on the board for the Cats. But they need to be kicking plenty more than that. They've got to stop Adelaide getting any more goals at all. Barnes wins in the middle. Lowther runs onto it. Good hand pass. Burns, he was probably going too fast. And he's given a free kick away. Free kick to Goodwin.
Yeah, that's that turnover again that Geelong just run into every now and again.
Burns did well to get back. He covered two players then, Ronnie.
Good pace by Ronnie Burns.
Yep. Scholl applying the tackle. Tyson underneath the pack. Ball's flipped out to James. A high one. Steinford there. Punched down by Harley. Comes to Raleigh. Harley and Raleigh. What's happening here? Clark. That's high again. Another. Oh, umpire. Play on, he said. McGregor. Well, he's got the name of a Davis Cup player, but he looks like an AFL footballer, Ken McGregor. Burton. Inside 50. Astray. Barnes a mark.
Oh, he thought about playing on then.
Good run by Riccardi. But he's done it all in the back half, Peter Riccardi. Maybe he might have been able to do a bit more work forward. McGrath's come forward and marked at right half forward flank. Up short, that's good, but they're very wide out. They don't like playing centre corridor football.
The trouble is the player goes wide where the space is, but the ball is no good out there unless he's a miraculous kick.
Well, he'll need to be pretty good from here. Tristan Lynch. Starts at left. Comes back a bit. Punch through. Bit too easy for the defenders, that one.
He gave it a chance. He put it left. The breeze was coming over his left shoulder, but the initial mistake was made by leading to that flank and then the player giving the ball out there. They just have to hit the square or in front of the square.
Especially Tim McGrath too. He's a leader. You would probably think that it was too far out. You might have kicked it to the top of the square.
Yes.
James, good mark in between two Geelong players. And across the ground, this is just a training drill and beautifully coached. And they've worked out players down the outer side of the ground who are free. Bassett finally has it. They kicked one of the goals of the season in the first quarter, all the way from fullback. 3 possessions, down the middle, and a great long goal.
The Ripper won it, Drew.
Oh, I loved it. And I'm pretty sure he did too. Stevens, in between half-back and wing.
Oh, how can players be so loose, Graham?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 18 pairs of players out there.
Oh, that was a mark, I thought.
Yeah, Burton, the hand pass to McLeod. Jarman camped underneath it. Well done, Harley. Let's hope Raleigh doesn't get it. Stoneham, Barnes, Riccardi. Oh, well done, Stevens.
He's played well.
Played well every time I've seen him this year. Tyson, low into the breeze. Oh,
no one wanted it.
Player held. Jarman was held, umpire.
Matty Litak turned around to Crum.
Yes.
Darren Jarman was forced out of the contest, and in the end...
Graham, correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't think you could interfere with a player if you were going for a spoil. I think you can if you're going for a mark, but particularly over the back.
You mean the one with Harley and Jarman?
Yes.
We've just had a fistful.
Look fair enough to me, Curls. You've got to be able to jump at it and punch.
Yeah, but you can't put a hand on the shoulder.
Well, you're a very hard man.
Oh, no, I stick to the rules.
I'm with you, Curls. I reckon that was red hot.
Now, that's the contest we just saw there. Matty Liptak turned around to Crum and Darren Jarman was forced out of the contest. No one went for it.
Barnes bumbles the kick along the ground. Lowther in heaps of bother. Hand pass dropped short of McGrath. Oh, taken by Ellen. We haven't seen much of Shane Ellen today. Punch to the front of the pack. Overrun by Burton. Comes to Milburn. Oh, McGrath took his eyes off it. And they've lost it. Goal coming up. Burton just can't break the tackle. McGregor is there. Good mark by Clark.
They're putting plenty of pressure on Geelong, but they just break down with those turnovers they give away.
Just these little silly mistakes, Neil.
That's correct.
Well, if you're going to make a mistake, make it a long mistake, not a short mistake.
Is there a difference?
There's a big difference. Make a short mistake, it goes back over your head. Make a long mistake, it comes back to you.
Yeah, gee, we could talk about that for a while if there wasn't a football match here to call. Well, OK, it's going to be a baller. Take it away, Cornsey.
Take it away.
No, I get what you mean, but the listeners may have trouble with it.
Just don't make them long or short, huh? got a bit of clue, hasn't it?
Yes.
Mooney wins the hit out. Comes to James. Stevens. A good pass. Good foot disposal. He's going to get it back. Chance for another one. Got it off lip tack. Goes longer this time. Jarman. And Tom Harley did all right again. It's been a big task for that youngster playing just his second game. Barnes didn't have it, pulled off it, and Harley goes backwards to concede a behind from about 20 metres out.
Good play there, Drew. Just an opportunity to go nowhere else. The safety is the next option, and just the handball through the points. I tell you what, the handball went for about 10 or 15 metres too.
Yeah. And you don't want those, do you, David Clark? You had to wait for it. Knew you were going to get crunched.
He's had a good last quarter.
Stoner.
Yeah, now Shane Allen's come on and gone to centre-half forward. Ian Downsworth's gone on the ball as a ruckman.
Stretch the hamstrings for that, Daniel Lowler, to take the mark just inside the line. Still at half-back flank. All Geelong here. There were 4 players within about 10 metres. Arnott goes short to Mensch, who's been a passenger today. Lynch. Well, they had to drop David Mensch last week, and maybe they had to bring him back this week. But I don't know what he showed in the Rezzies last week. It doesn't show much today in the seniors.
I think you'll find at the end of the day that Geelong will have as many, if not more, possessions than the Crows.
It wasn't the case at three-quarter time, Kells. They'd had 221 compared to the Crows' 247.
Okay.
Another stat for you. A crowd of 40,210, which is not bad between teams 13th and 14th on the ladder. Stevens from Gippsland goes across the ground and finds Bassett.
Well, the game has just fallen in a bit of a hole at the moment. It's almost like server work. It goes up one side and down the other.
Well, it's just been 1 goal each in this last quarter, and we're midway through the term. Downsborough takes the mark at left half-back. They gather 2 against 2 up there. The ball punched to the front. It goes to Ronnie. Burns hand pass to McGrath. His hand pass floats and just gets to a teammate, Arnott. On the bounce. That's pretty awkward for a bloke who's about 6'8", and King couldn't get there. It's hacked out of the air by Ormond Allen. Very interesting kick, but to a team plan, maybe that was great. And you find Connell miles in the clear. Free kick here to Costa.
Yeah, pushing it back through. Just on the top of him. He did the right thing by the smother, but after he smothered, he just fell on top of him. Bit unlucky there, but that's the rules.
Big leap at the back by Ellen. Comes to the front, James. Burton looking to go down the line for himself. McGrath did well. Milburn went for the line. Burton kept it in. Great play. Oh,
great kick.
Well done.
Well, it's good pressure from both sides. It's a bit scrappy at the moment. Just have a look at this. Good pressure by Shane Allen. Milburn gets the handball, but he did well actually to keep it from going out of bounds on the full. Kenny McGregor's now moved to centre-half forward. Shane Allen's moved to the side. So, again, at 18 years of age, the kid's got a big job.
Scholl out of defence. No, it was Clark up towards centre field. For Hart. Prosciutto. He sparked them early, Mark Prosciutto. Acting captain today. Well done. Stevens across the ground to lip tack. He's got time for a cut lunch. Beautiful. Oh, Jefferson. Chopped off by Stoneham.
It's gone home.
Yeah. Too slow, Milburn.
No, he's played a push in the back.
Well, dead set was. He only had to lay a half-decent tackle.
He's coming back now, Drew. I don't know why he just didn't grab him then.
He just has to
grab
grab him, doesn't he?
Right here. And it's a fair old push, yes.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Maybe you get another spell on the bench.
I think he was just about to kick it, but he had second thoughts. Instead of push him, should have just grabbed him.
Benny Clark, and he has kicked that from a mile and kicked a goal. David Clark has kicked that from... I need to see the replay. I think it's about 70 metres.
Well, we'll have a look at it. They'll show it in replay, but takes the ball inside the square, runs to the square. It's... Well, Bruce Limner kicked one from there in the 83 grand final. They measured it at 80 metres. So it's got to be similar.
That was an incredible goal by David Clark. Here he is, deep inside the centre square. Is it 70, 75 metres?
Oh, it's got to be closer to 80, surely.
Yeah. Good shepherd too by Mooney. I tell you what, boys, if he doesn't remember his first goal, he will remember his second goal.
Yep, he hadn't kicked an AFL goal until this quarter, and now he's kicked 2, including the longest goal of the year. Unbelievable. Liptak runs onto this, and Liptak answers with one of his own.
Well, that's really Liptak's 4th goal, so he was just going berserk.
Look, it's incredible too, because Clark has been told to man up on Matty Liptak for this quarter. They're just going blow for blow, kick for kick. They're both having great good. You can see David Clark desperately trying to get to him. This has been Matthew Liptak's best game this season. Welcome back. He's extremely fit. He just needs a bit of touch. You see him running onto it. Clark desperately trying to get there, realises it's too late.
Well, Graham, it probably could be his best game for 2 years.
Well, he only played one game last year.
This is about his 10th game in the 3 seasons, so terrific game by Matthew Liptak, who's kicked 4 goals. And just as his man kicked one of the longest goals of the season, Liptak answered about 20 seconds later. Well, certainly the Crows are going to win this game now, but what more treats can we see? We've seen a bit of a scrap, some very ordinary football, a lot of turnovers, but in amongst that, we have seen some of the best goals of the season in this game.
There's no doubt about that, but it has been marred, unfortunately, by mistakes and turnovers as well.
Shoulder Mensch, and Mensch has got it. And I reckon all down there in the Western Districts, they'll be cheering for Menchie as he finally gets hold of this.
Well, they're certainly not throwing the towel in Geelong, but they're keeping at it.
He hasn't been renowned as a long kick, David Mensch.
Kicked 20 goals for the season. Gets hold of that, but it's away to the right.
Graham, just going back to Liptak, it's a pity for the other AFL team supporters. They haven't seen this boy for 3 years. He was going to be, in my opinion, one of the best scouting rovers in the comp.
He always did that well, but Andrew McLeod's taken that mantle from him now, Curls, by a mile.
You can have a couple, though, can't you?
You can.
Tyson slides the ball to Hart, up to centre wing. A. McLeod marks. In he comes to Stevens. Oh, good running by the Crows. Hart just kept on going. Thumps it long inside the 50. To Jarman, who leads at it. Harley did all right. Comes to the front to James. Hand pass. Chance for Vardy. He trapped it well.
I think he's hit himself. Vardy? It's okay now.
So Riccardi has it. So we've got Vardy, Riccardi, and we've got Raleigh and Harley. Arnott goes long. Mooney.
Oh, good mark. Good mark. It's a very good mark. And Nathan Bass has done nothing wrong. He's played in front. Jason Mooney's just held him out, seen it coming over, fell backwards. Oh, that is a very good mark.
Well, how about a goal, Jason Mooney? He hasn't bothered the scorers today, and he's come into this game with 30 goals for the season to be the club's leading goal scorer. And this will be his first goal for a couple of weeks. He was goalless last week. Got it. Silence, I'll tell you that. Jason Mooney waiting until the last quarter to get his first goal of the game. In this quarter, the Cats have kicked 3 goals and the Crows 2. But really, the Cats needed to storm home with about 8 goals to 0. Crows forward out of the middle. James, sleight of hand, away to Tyson.
Oh.
He's played it on.
He's played it on.
And it's a goal!
How far can you run, umpire? Well, I'll tell you what, he ran, well, what's the rule, 15, 20 metres?
I think 15, but...
Look, it's an area of the game that they should be we'll just have a look there, but that's pretty James. He gives a
Good
good
hands.
handball.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, well, you can't count them. But, yeah, it's probably just over.
Oh, that's 5 steps too many.
But it's such a spectacular part of the game. I think it's where they can use a bit of discretion.
I think he got the ball from about 5 metres outside the 50, and before he kicked it, he was about 30 metres past the 50 metre.
But Johnny, didn't you love it?
Oh, look, I love it. Oh, it's great. He's finished off with a great goal as well.
Yeah. I suppose you can use discretion if the bloke from the home side kicks it when the result is well and truly beyond doubt. McGrath, you know, if that goal had decided a grand final, it'd be a riot.
Especially here in Adelaide.
Mark to Graham, not sure. Played on quickly. Stoneham taken out wide into Clark. Can he kick 3 into the quarter? Oh, well done.
Good work.
Centering ball. Lowther with the sit. Oh!
He's hurt himself too.
Ronnie Burns has got it. Sits one, beats another. And a terrific effort by Burns just offline.
Well done, both those young men, Clark and Lowther. He got up high, but he's just picking himself up now. Yeah, here's Clark. He's in trouble. Stop. Back. Look, where am I going to go? Sees the movement. But watch Daniel Lowther here, but watch him land. Watch him land.
Ooh.
Right on his back.
Oh.
Just a bit winded.
Yeah, physiotherapists love those ones. And probably surgeons as well. McGregor in his first game. Take a real big pat on the back, son. And what a pass to Jarman.
Great pass. Seems like this boy McGregor's been around for years, Graham, doesn't it? His skill level, his pose about him, and just every great kick.
Crows match committee would be loving it. Be very heartened because there was a little bit of criticism that maybe young Matthew Pavlich, who's the star in the SNFL this year, could have been taken, but we see why now they've taken Burton, and a big kick from Jarman. Has he kicked that?
He's kicked that.
Well, that's like the one he kicked at the G last week, 50 metres on the boundary. That wasn't quite 50, but at the into the breeze end of the ground, that's the equivalent of.
Well, he has kicked this beautifully, and the big cheer is for Matthew Liptak coming off, and Matt Connell coming on.
Well, just a phenomenal goal by Darren Jarman. The Crows have kicked 21. Jarman at last is, well, he's got level. He's kicked 3 goals, 3. He's kicked 2 in this last quarter, and that was a perler into the breeze. And a loud roar went up as Matthew Liptak went to the bench, just playing his 3rd game this season. He's kicked 4 goals. What a day he's had. The doctor. Oh, Jarman's got it again. He could finish up with half a dozen. Yep. What a kick for Clark! Jarman a goal!
He loved it too. You just can't keep him down, can you? When people have doubts on him and they think that he's having a bad day, all of a sudden pops up, he still kicks his 4, and 2 of the famous goals he's just kicked.
Well, he's been taken from the ground twice today by the match committee. And there are people who have doubts sometimes, but he always, when the pressure is on, produces his best, and moments of magic like that cannot be produced by just any football. It takes somebody special. He's beautifully balanced, sees the goals, get plenty of foot on the ball. Just watch his reaction here. He loves it.
Yeah. Arms to go up.
Waiting, it's bouncing. Andy McLeod shepherding it, it's waiting. Oh, we missed him.
Yeah. He wasn't sure whether it was going to be Andy McLeod's goal from half a metre or his from 50. Oh, that was just fantastic. He's kicked 3 in the last quarter, Jars. What a miss, Graham. He's kicked it into the stratosphere. Barnes into the corridor, and Clark for his 3rd this quarter. He's got it.
Good boy.
On a sound stage far, far away, a great movie was created. Then a sequel. Then a 3rd. Then nothing. The Cold War ended. No movie. The Berlin Wall fell. Zilch. Then, like 20 years later, they decided to throw us another movie.
Well, big deal. The aliens on Third Rock are here every Sunday night. Not one Sunday here, then another Sunday 2 decades later.
Third Rock. They've got the Force. We've got Dick. Tonight on 7.
It's a bit of a test for me. I'm not sure now.
Somebody will ring, somebody will tell.
Yes. Well, get him to ring Cornsey. Oh, good mark.
Yeah, Drew, that was a great running goal by Clark, but a magnificent handball by Barnes to set it up.
Gee, it's been a funny old quarter. The Cats have kicked 4 goals, but the Crows have kicked 5 into the breeze. 3 of them to Jarman, who had been half ordinary to three-quarter time and been benched twice by the coach. And if, in fact, you're right, Cornsey, and it's got something to do with the contract, the length of it and the size of it, I think he might have added a couple of zeros in the last quarter. Oh, pay him what he wants, I reckon.
The problem is he's 32. That's I guess, one of the difficulties in these negotiations.
Throw in. You're about to speak, Curls? Size of the contract for Jars? No, he's put on the censorship button. McLeod. And in this rollick that the Crows have had today, strangely, McLeod hasn't featured at all. He hasn't scored even a point. Tyson on the turn, 35 metres. It is another one. Yep. 3 goals for James Tyson.
Spent a fair bit of the game on the bench. Came on for Tyson Edwards, and that's a bit of a mystery too. But he's done beautifully off that half-forward flank, so everything Malcolm Blight's done today has worked in his favour. Just some of that old Blight magic starting to re-emerge, Johnny.
Certainly is, Graham, and you can just see the discipline by the Crows players here. The ball was on the other side of the ground, the top of the square. I knew they had the runners up there, Vardy, Tyson. So just easy turnaround, seeds of goals from about 20 metres out. It's a beautiful goal.
Well, there's just under 3 minutes left, and the Crows have added 6 goals won in this last quarter into the breeze. Nobody has kicked that well going right to left in this game. Burton dashes out of the middle. Jarman, not a mark, but on the bounce. Maybe set this one down for another goal. Look at this! Look at this! Oh, yes! Yes! Top goal!
Yeah. Oh, that's magnificent. And the crowd erupts. When you want to see football played at its best, when you want to see poetry in motion, just watch this man. Tom Harley's played well on him, but he controls it. Stop, ball, sees the goals. Magnificent football.
Arms up. There's your arms, Graham. Your arms are up.
Oh, look how he beats this youngster. And he had done so well. Jarman had kicked 1 goal 3 to three-quarter time. He's kicked 4 straight in the last quarter, including this.
And that's why people come to the football. It's been at times a scrappy game, but I think, Drew, you've made the point. There's been occasions when the skills have been magnificent.
Oh, just open the wallet and pay him what he wants, Crows. Riley out of the middle to Bamford, a late inclusion. He drops a sitter. It spills back. Arnott, good pass. And right in front, Scholl. There's still 2 minutes remaining. And in this quarter, it has been 7 goals to 4. 11 goals in this quarter, so it might be a pretty long one. Well, it's been going 28.5 minutes already. Scholl, 45 out right in front. And he gets on the score sheet.
Yes, but again, it's to the end where the Geelong cheer squad is not. And there's no noise whatsoever. He's had a pretty tough day. There's no doubt about it. He's been in defence. He's been on the wing, and now he's gone forward. But it's a nice finish.
A fairly good game, boys, isn't it? Even though it's a 10-goal difference, but 38 goals scored in one day, and there's been some fantastic goals, hasn't it, Drew?
Yep, and 38 goals, and there have been 19 different goal kickers. Adelaide have 10, and even Geelong have 9. And 155, I think, is the highest score for the year, shared by the Crows and the Cats. And the Crows might just about top it here in the last couple of minutes. Scholl to Burns. McGrath, the acting captain. Oh, he'd love a goal, but poor kick.
It was a great attack on the ball by Mark Rashido. He had to come backwards and sideways across the pack, got to the ball, but wasn't balanced enough to take it. Good courage, but well scouted by the Geelong players, just not able to finish off with a goal.
So waiting for Rod Jamieson to bring the ball into play.
And Rod Jamison's been very good these last 4 weeks too for the Crows.
Hart. Well, this is a bit of a high-scoring game with Adelaide topping the 1.5 century and the Cats not far short of a century. A minute remaining in the game. Stevens goes short to Hart. Hart working the outer boundary line well for Jamieson. Defenders came up and kicked goals early in the game. James kicks it low. Jarman again! Now this bloke is going to kick 5 goals in a quarter on a day when he's been beaten or ordinary to 3/4 time.
Well, Tom Harley would have to have been pleased with his debut for Geelong. He's contained Darren Jarman to one goal in 3/4. Jarman's come back on and just erupted. Of course, he kicked 5 goals straight in that last quarter of the 1997 grand final against St Kilda. Can he do it today?
Unfortunately, he's done to young Harley what he did to Shanahan that day. And this would be 5 straight in the last quarter for Darren Jarman. Never in doubt.
6. Thanks very much.
There is no justice in football sometimes.
It's cruel.
But when you've got a champion player, and Darren Jarman is a champion player, you cannot relax. You cannot give them an inch. A kick from Freddie James, who's been tremendous. Inconspicuous, I might add, but his kick was where Jarman needed it, and he was good enough to get that body down, the arms and the hands under it. 5 goals in the quarter, 6 for the game.
People behind the goal for Jarman are absolutely going berserk here.
Well, there's just seconds remaining, so unfortunately there will be no more to the Jarman magic in this last quarter. There's the siren. Well done, the Crows. Well, their only win in the last 6 weeks was against Collingwood, and that was by 5 points. So they've flogged the Cats today, and smiles from the youngster Harley and the champ Jarman. That was good to see.
Fantastic scene. I think even Darren Jarman would have said to him what a great game he did, and maybe gave him a little bit an advice of what's happening in the big league, and I reckon he did a pretty good job up to 3/4 time. But good luck to him.
He did a fantastic job, and Jars on the siren, when I was watching him, they just brought up, tapped him on the back, said well done, and give the kids some encouragement. Well, an interesting game of football. There was times when the Crows were absolutely dominant, but Geelong bounced back at them, could not find any clean movement through their half-forward line. And in the end, a very, very easy victory to the Crows. Malcolm Blight only had his moments today.
Of course, he would Blighty be patting himself on the back for benching Jarman a couple of times, giving him a needle and seeing what he did in the last quarter?
Look, I'd really love to be able to ask that question because you can make observations and you can even criticise, but you don't know what the coach has got in mind. You don't know what his ulterior motive, and it may just be. It may just be what Darren Jarman needed. Neil Curley is down on the ground. Curls.
Yeah, thanks, Graham. Well, Kimmy, you've been here all year. Today, there was a different approach by the whole team.
Yeah, look, it's been a pretty solid week on the track. A lot of talking, and you know, Malcolm stressed that before the game, put up on the board words, and words is a big thing. We had to come out here and try and show it, and you know, we made a few mistakes early, I think, but we got back on top, and you know, they kicked a few goals, easy goals in that 3rd quarter, but to our credit, we got back on top.
You're still looking for your elusive goal?
Yeah, yeah, look, tried hard. Get a bit nervous around the goals there, Curls, you know how it is. Will you bag me, will you?
Darren Jarman, bit quiet early, but let it go in the last quarter.
Turned it on in the last quarter was amazing. Just watching him, you know, walk, showing some composure, and that's what I've got to do, try and show a little bit of poise. You can learn from the master. He's awesome.
Great win, all the best. Back to you, Drew.
Yeah, thanks, Curls. And they're waiting for the interviewee to go and join the group. And Jarman, hands on hips, broad smile. Wouldn't you be happy with that? He's kicked 6 goals, 3, and at 3/4 time he had 1 goal, 3. Unbelievable.
Drew just said, I think he's just telling the boys how he did it, side step. Probably did a somersault and all sorts of things he would have told him.
And it's probably taken a bit of the shine away from Nathan Bassett, who kicked a great goal in the 1st quarter, coming up from full back. And boys, that is the highest score of the season. The Crows have kicked 25-9, and it beats the previous highest score of the season by 4 points, shared by the Crows and the Cats.
Well, it's going to give them tremendous encouragement. There's been a lot of pressure on at the club. There's been a lot of pressure here in Adelaide. Is the season really been thrown away or given away last week? We're not sure. There's still hope there. I don't think Malcolm Blight would have given the season away. Mark Rashudo led the team very well. Kenny McGregor. Matty Connell started so well, had a fantastic first half. Benched after that. Ian Downs replayed at centre-half forward. And again, a forlorn-looking Tyson Edwards there. He was taken off the ground for some reason too. Andrew McLeod a quiet one, and Matty Liptak alongside him. What a game he played.
Well, I thought Edwards was playing the best game I'd ever seen him play. He kicked 3 goals, 1 in each quarter to three-quarter time, and was then benched. So obviously I know nothing, and Blighty knows his men. But I did think that Jarman was a bit harshly done by when he was benched a couple of times, whatever the reason.
Well, it could have been Drew, but certainly paid off and finished up with 6 goals, and I think it's a credit to him and also to Malcolm Blight for taking him off.
So the final score, 25-9, 159 to 14-12, 96.
Chance discovery.
Bones were scattered in all directions.
Human bones found in a remote corner of the wilderness.
We have approximately 5%.
But whose remains are they?
Haven't got anyone that fits the criteria.
Australia's Most Wanted, Monday.
I think it's important for the kids to learn violin everywhere. I'm biased in that respect, I suppose. Very good. Excellent.
Through our video conferencing, we now have a violin teacher at the school.
See that? Telstra helped us and many other schools to set up the links, made it all happen.
When we bring the two groups together, the sound is just fantastic, and the experience for the students was absolutely unbelievable.
Telstra's Learn IT program is making it easier to learn, especially about each other. If you want to pay your insurance bill fortnightly, you can. If you want to pay it monthly, you can. Or if you want to pay it quarterly, half-yearly or yearly, you can do that too. Because at SGIC, we believe in giving you the choice.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication. Californication, the brand new album with 15 new songs, including the hit single Scar Tissue. Buy the exclusive Australian edition and get a bonus CD with 3 extra tracks. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication, the #1 Australian album, in store now.
Kia Mentor. If it didn't have to stop for fuel, it wouldn't stop. From 16,990, drive away with air.
People all over the world are getting into Star Wars Episode 1 by piecing the story back together again with a collectible jigsaw from Pizza Hut. Now get a Star Wars Jigsaw Meal Deal. 2 large pizzas, garlic bread, and 1 collectible jigsaw from $19.95. Dine in or home delivered. Star Wars and Pizza Hut. Get into it.
I thought it was going to be a normal summer until Sally Marshall came to town.
Didn't you read the sign? No aliens allowed.
Says no dogs, too, but you're still here. Sally Marshall's not an alien, is she?
In cinemas everywhere these school holidays. 400 feet below the surface.
Someone aboard this vessel is deliberately trying to hurt the others.
And he's turned his sights on the JAG team.
Oh, God.
A brand new JAG. Wednesday on 7.
Next, home improvement like you've never seen it before.
Where do you see what I did with the spoon?
Home improvement uncut, next on 7.
Well, the highest score of the season, and they won by 63 points, kicking 25-9 to 14 goals 12. And the goal kickers led again by, you guessed it, Darren Jarman. He had 1 to 3-quarter time and kicked 5 straight in the last quarter. Liptak best on ground with 4, Vardy also 4. And let's have a look at the league ladder now and see whether, in fact, Adelaide are gone for the season. I say no. 6 and 8, a game outside in percentage, and so the miracle may not have been averted for Malcolm.
Nothing yet. Baby, you just ain't nothing yet. Here's something that you're never gonna forget. Baby, you just ain't nothing yet. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use Graduation is a party, and I invite you, and I'm a good hostess, so I won't bite you. I really like it here. It's such a thrill, and I think that fireflies are really cool, so I'll go, and if you don't believe that, I'll go right here, right now. I'll go, and if you don't believe that,